Oh, yo, 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 yo. You know what it is. It's the number one weekend hip hop podcast in the game. This is the Weekend Rhyme. I'm your boy Ron. That is your boy Leroy Green. That is Super Duper. We're here back at it again. Before we get started with tonight's proceedings, we need you to do the needful. Hit like, hit subscribe, share the pod, leave a comment, buy us a cup of coffee, send us a super thanks, a super chat, whatever you need to do to keep us rolling. We deeply appreciate it because you could be anywhere in the world today, but you chose to rock with us. We got another jam-packed show for you. We're going to talk about the Grammys. The Grammys are tonight in Los Angeles, and we're going to talk about the importance of the Grammys in hip-hop. Does it mean anything? What does it mean for our artists to win? What does it mean for our culture to be awarded with a Grammy? We're going to talk about IDK, the new mixtape. Dope, dope, dope artist. Dope artist. Phenomenal, phenomenal record. We're going to dig into that a little bit. Also, the game is back with his Reloaded. Every movie needs a trailer mixtape with DJ Drama. This is called The End Credits. Dope, dope, dope album. We're going to talk about that. He has some bars for the West Coast. Again, he has some bars about his legacy. He also has some bars directed, to Kendrick. So we're going to talk about what does that mean in hip hop in 2026. Is it beefing, battling? What does it mean? What does it mean? Can we do both? Can we separate the two? Do you have to battle? Do you have to be in beef to battle? Can you just battle just to battle? Mickey Facts has a battle I forgot the brother's name because he's murked him so bad. A-Verb.
A-Verb.
A-Verb versus Mickey Facts. We're gonna touch on that a little bit. Also, what else we got? We got some other things to talk about. But anyway, hit like and subscribe. Let's go to the Grammys tonight. Some of your favorites are nominated. I know GNX by Kendrick Lamar for Album of the Year. You got Glorilla is nominated. You got Tyler the Creator, Chromacopia, Clips. Let God So White is nominated. JID is nominated. Let's go back, though. Let's take it a little step back. 1989 was the first hip-hop Grammy. It was not televised. So Fresh Prince, DJ Jazzy Jeff from Fresh Prince, they won that Grammy. A lot of the hip-hop artists at the time, Salt and Pepper, I think MC Light, DJ Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince did not show up. So it was a big deal. It was a big deal, but one of the things that they pushed back on in 1989, it was not televised. So they won the first award. Little trivia question. I don't think you guys know that. So when we talk about is the Grammys and hip hop synonymous, Tupac, did you guys know that Tupac never won a Grammy? Snoop Dogg, 17 times nominated. And in Juice, Murder Was the Case, Dogfather, Blue Carpet Treatment, Rhythm and Gangster, never won a Grammy. NWA, never won a Grammy. Biggie, I believe he never won a Grammy. I got to check that. So when we talk about the importance of this award, this prestigious award, we got to put it into context. So we look at Jay-Z, for example. Jay-Z has 88, 89 nominations, won 25 times. Kendrick, I think Kendrick's won like 17, 18 times. Kanye's won a lot. Tyler's won a lot. But tonight, Album of the Year, we got, again, the Clips. We got JID. We got Glorilla. We got Kendrick. What say you guys about the Album of the Year? What do you guys think should be? I have my thoughts. Before I get into my thoughts, I'm going to turn it over to Super. What's your thoughts what should be Album of the Year in this category?
I think that, well, I'm going to break it down in a couple of different ways. For one, I'm going to break it all the way down. I don't think Kendrick should be qualified for this. I think it's kind of unfair to put GNX in here when he won Grammys just last year for the same album and pretty much the same songs. So I'm going to take Kendrick out of here. I don't think that they're going to give it to Kendrick. The real Album of the Year is the Clips album. But in a way, I kind of don't see that. I don't see the Grammys giving it to the Clips for real. I think that they're going to give it to JID. He young. The album was a nice album. And I think that that's just what it fit the Grammy, like that Grammy pick. Like I think the Clips going to win some awards, but I think they're going to still give Album of the Year to JID because it kind of fits that Grammy audience, that Grammy feeling. And, to be honest with you, the Grammys never really been tapped into what the real hip hop community and the real hip hop culture is feeling. Not saying that, we're not feeling JID. I'm not, no disrespect to him, but I think that we all, as hip hop heads, we want the Clips to win. We think the Clips should win, but Grammy wise, and the way that they think, I think they're going to give it to JID.
Leroy, what say you? What's your thoughts about Album of the Year? Out of this group, what do you got for Album of the Year?
Right.
What it is, you know what I mean? If I go to a if I go to a award, sorry, about art, and it's the world art, and the graffiti artists don't really get acknowledged, I'm not really surprised by, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I think about it that way. Also, they're judging all music. We're judging hip hop. So you see how there's a disconnect right there. You know what I mean? Pitting country, pop, R&B, classical musical theater, hip hop in one thing. So when you I mean, as far as just what they're listening to, they have to listen to all of this.
Right.
So your taste level is gonna be different. I'm not saying one is better. I'm not saying, well, I'm just saying it's different. You know what I mean? So, but I don't think there's a no. You know, me personally, I understand if the clips take it. I wouldn't be mad at that at all. I wouldn't be mad at JID. I do get J. Cole's point on his last project, where if you really, really support JID, you know, buy his album. I support that message. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I mean, that's if you really like the brother that much, you know what I mean? So we'll see how it plays out. I enjoy watching the Grammys. I
Hey,
enjoy watching the
and
artists, you know.
at this point in time too, I'm over the if we care about the Grammys talk and do the Grammys meaning. Like it's over that. They are the only awards out right now. They're not even doing BT awards or Soul Train awards or Source awards anyway no more. So this is the awards. This is what it is. Like we can't. I'm not gonna be like the old head. Like yeah, the Grammys don't matter and who cares. I mean, it is what it is at this moment. So we as hip hop
I enjoy it.
we got to get
Yeah.
over that, like that talk right now too. It is what it is. So I mean, I don't
Yeah,
think that I don't think that the Grammys, they never really, to me, they don't get it right. They're gonna still make those Macklemore moves, and they're gonna still do what they do as the Grammys. You know what I'm saying?
Here we
So
go. Here we
right, right.
go.
So,
I'm gonna get in trouble.
segue to that. So, I got the list, right? I got the list all the way back to 2005. 2005, the College Dropout won. Kanye West they were nominated in the category "Suit" by Nelly, "The Definition" by LL Cool J. The Black Album was up that year, and also "To the Five Boroughs" by the Beastie Boys. So, College Dropout won in 2005. 2006, he doubled up. Late Registration, Kanye West won. He beat out The Massacre. He beat out B from Common. He beat out Missy Elliott Encore. What else? No. Eminem Encore in the Cookbook, Missy Elliott. 2007 was Release Therapy won by Ludacris. Lupe was nominated for Food and Liquor. Game Theory by The Roots was nominated. King by T.I. and In My Mind Pharrell was nominated, but Release Therapy won. I don't know about that year. I think you could say Food and Liquor might be a better album than Release Therapy. You can also say The Game Theory by The Roots was a better album. Also, King was a better album. So don't think the Grammys got it right in 2007.
I think you just don't like Ludacris.
I just think those albums better, bro. 2008, damn, Kanye running it up. Kanye won for Graduation. He beat out Common, Find It Forever, Kingdom Come by Jay-Z, Hip Hop is Dead Nas. He also beat out T.I. versus T.I.P. 2009 was The Carter, Lil Wayne. The Carter 3 by Lil Wayne. American Gangster was nominated. The Cool by Lupe Fiasco was nominated. Untitled was nominated. Paper Trail by T.I. was nominated. The Carter 3 pulled it out. Don't know about that. Carter 3 was the wave that year, so I will say he had a lot of hits on that. Lil Wayne had the game during that time, so I'm not mad that Lil Wayne won, but you can make an argument that American Gangster should have won that year. Okay, 2010,
or
2009.
Hold on.
Untitled. Untitled.
Here's the thing: if the Grammys, I think Grammys pick popular people, right? I think that's what they do. Now, if the Grammys pick somebody who you don't agree with, does that make them wrong? And see, that's my only critique with hip hop. I understand. I'm not saying it's a wrong or right. If they pick somebody who you don't like, does that invalidate their opinion?
Yeah, it do.
I don't understand that. Especially when you haven't heard the albums. They pick albums that I know people will never listen to. So they'll be like, "Oh, that's whack," but you never even heard it.
But we heard these albums though.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when they pick, I understand.
Well,
Hold on.
Leroy, we heard the albums, though. We know that
I understand.
we know King by T.I. is a better album than Release Therapy. We know
I don't know that because again, it's their opinion. So you're talking about their
Well,
opinion
the reason why
about
I'm saying
when
that they
people
wrong.
hold on. I know when people was like mad at Macklemore, they never even pressed play on Macklemore's album. So that's the thing that we have to watch that too. If you never heard the project, you know what I'm saying? So
I just say that they wrong because I think that they culturally um out of tune. Like if you're gonna give an award for hip hop and you're gonna speak for hip hop, then you gotta like it gotta back up what hip hop is saying. Not you can't
it-
just like
how were they? How could they be out of tune? They're all from America.
yeah, but they if you're gonna like even I hate to bring up. Go ahead, go ahead.
let me finish my list real quick. Let me go through the list real quick, and we can have a deeper conversation of this. So 2010, 2011, Eminem ran it back to back. He won for the Relapse and Recovery in 2011. In 2010, Universal Mind Control by Common was nominated. Roots by Flo Rida, The Ecstatic by Mos Def, and The Renaissance by Q-Tip. That was a year. I got to go back and see what came out in 2010. 11, The Adventures of Bobby Ray by B.O.B. Thank Me Later by Drake was nominated. The Blueprint 3 and How I Got
B.O.B.
Over by
won.
The Roots. So Eminem beat out those people, those artists. And for The Recovery in 2011. 12, your boy Kanye Tuda is back again. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. He beat out himself because Watch Your Throne, him and Jay-Z was nominated. The Carter 4 was nominated. Lasers by Lupe Fiasco. And Pink Friday was nominated that year in 2012. 2013, Drake takes it. He beat out for Take Care. He beats out Food and Liquor 2. He beats out Life is Good. He beats out God Forgives, I Don't by Rick Ross. And he beats out 2 Chainz based on a true story. Oh, that's a tough one. That is a tough one, but Drake took care of that with Take Care. 2014, then we have the controversy. We have the controversy that we still talk about to this day. The Heist by Macklemore and Ryan Lewis beat out Nothing Was the Same by Drake. Magna Carta Holy Grail was nominated. Good Kid, Mad City. And he beat out Yeezus. So we can all say, I think all of us on this panel, on this show, and on this pod can say that based upon our
Can't agree with
criteria,
that.
our
Can't agree
criteria,
with that.
that
I can't agree.
that this seems like an odd choice. 2015, the Marshall Mathers LP2 won. It beat out Iggy Azalea. It beat out Childish Gambino. It beat out Wiz Khalifa, and it beat out Schoolboy Q, Oxymoron. 16, the Pimple Butterfly won. It beat out Forest Hills Drive. It beat out Compton by Dr. Dre. It beat out If You're Reading This, It's Too Late by Drake. And The Pink Print by Nicki Minaj. 17, The Coloring Book by Chance the Rapper won. Beat out Schoolboy Q again. Beat out Views by Drake. 18, M1 beat out 444. In that year for 444 with Jay-Z, he was 0 for 8. I think he was nominated for Album of the Year in all categories. I think Hip Hop Song. He went 0 for that night. That was not a good night for
Ron, here's the thing though, too, though. When we're listening to an album, we're listening to beats and rhymes, right? I understand that. We come from hip hop. They're
Right.
listening to beats and rhymes as well. However, they're also judging instrumentation. We're not judging instrumentation. So you see how they've added a factor in that we don't even consider? So when people don't agree with them, I understand. You don't have to agree with them. But if you are not looking at music the same way that they look at music, you feel what I mean? If someone says Universal Mind Control, Blueprint 3, Lasers, these are good albums, we would say, nah, them albums trash. But we're not hearing that they're judging instrumentation. Now, if you start judging instrumentation, your opinion's gonna change.
Okay. Let's see if Super, before you go, I'm gonna see if your theory holds true. So if they're judging by instrumentation, then we should see it in 2019, right? So 2019. Let me finish.
It's
2019.
like a bunch of years.
Victory Lap was nominated. Rest in peace to Nip.
I'm wearing red for game by today, but Nip's in the building.
Daytona by Pusha T was nominated. World was nominated by Travis Scott. And the posthumous album Swimming by Mac Miller was nominated. But do you know who won 2019 Grammy for Hip Hop Album of the Year? If it's based on, if they're listening for instrumentation, it was Cardi B, Invasion of Privacy, beat out Mac Miller, Nipsey Hussle, Pusha T, and Travis Scott. So I don't know if they listen for instrumentation, because by your definition, then Swimming should have won, then Victory Lap should have won, Daytona should have won, Astro World should have won. But again,
I don't think there's a lose there. I think any of those artists that you pick have good music. So I don't think you can lose.
I look at the Grammys right now the same way I look at the NFL Hall of Fame. They just do dumb shit. Like how was T.O. not a first ballot Hall of Famer? How was Bill Belichick not a first ballot Hall of Famer? You know what I mean? Like I just think that they make dumb decisions. They got
I
people
mean, you
that
have
they
people
got
from
people
hip hop
that's voting on this.
judging the
They
Grammys.
got people that's like I said, these whoever makes some of these decisions, they just do it outside of the culture and what's really happening, like for real. So it is what it is. Like I said, I mean,
I don't know. I agree with him.
I don't take them serious, but these are our wars. This is what we got. This is what it is. So,
I
take it
mean,
with
you have Q-Tip judging these albums. You have Questlove judging these albums.
it's
You
a
have
lot of
90
other
100
people too,
judging these
though,
albums.
man. It's a
You have
lot.
LL Cool J. And so it's like these people are
And I'm sure
from
that
our
they
culture.
probably didn't vote for Macklemore when he won. You know what I'm saying?
But
So
here
it's like
though,
it's other
I
people.
think we think if someone doesn't agree with us, that invalidates their opinion, and I don't know if that's true. You know what
Well,
I'm saying?
you know, I don't want to say nobody's opinion is invalidated, but I would think if us as a hip hop fans and hip hop podcasters, if we sit down and I push play on Invasion of Privacy, no disrespect to Cardi B, I like her music, and we push play on Nipsey Hussle Victory Lap, it's kind of hard for me to say that, you know, from a
Or
judging
even Daytona.
panel that album is better than Daytona musically, lyrically,
I I didn't
feat
listen to that album.
what?
The
With Daytona?
no, oh yeah, I listened to
The
that, but
Privacy.
Cardi B's first album. But if I press play on Cardi's new album and I say musically it is great, people are gonna tell me, nah, you're tripping, bro. But
Alright,
we're not
let me
hearing the same things.
let me speed through this real quick because I don't want to belabor the point. But in 2020, Igor won. Tyler the Creator, he gets nominated a lot. Shout out to Tyler. 2021, Nas received his first Grammy in his illustrious career. He won it for King's Disease. He beat out Alfredo by Freddie Gibbs and the Alchemist. He beat out A Written Testimony by Jay Electronica. He beat out for Royce the 5'9" with the Allegory. 22, Tyler the Creator once again, Call Me If You Get Lost. He beats out J. Cole. He beats out King Disease 2, Donda. 3 was Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, beats out It's Almost Dry. Jack Harlow was nominated. Future was nominated. 24, you know, Killer Mike won for Michael, beat out 21 Savage and Drake,
And that's
beat
who really
out
should have won.
beat out Metro, out King's Disease 3, and it beat out Utopia, Travis Scott. And then 2025, I think they said it was the first mixtape they ever won, was Alligator Bites Never Heal by Doechii, beat out The Death of Slim Shady, featuring Metro, beat out J. Cole, Might Delete Later. And you know, to me, maybe it's the old head in me, I thought that the Auditorium Volume 1 with Common and Pete Rock should have won that. You might could say Future and Metro. And tonight, we got Chromacopia.
And what she beat GNX too, right?
No, GNX is nominated tonight. So tonight,
But
2026.
what did Kendrick win last year? Like, what did he win all them Grammys for last
He
year?
won for not Like Us. He won for, I think he might have won for something for Euphoria and Not Like Us. But I got to fact check that. But Not Like Us was the reason he won all those Grammys, right? Record of the Year, I think Song of the Year, Hip Hop Song of the Year. He won all that for Not Like Us. So tonight, it's going to be GNX. It's going to be Chromacopia by Tyler. It's going to be Clips again. And I just want to say before I let Super you go and Leroy you go, I listened to the albums today because I wanted to make sure I was up on the knowledge before I spoke on this microphone. I went back and listened to me, and I'm not a big Tyler the Creator fan, but I listened to Chromacopia this morning, start to finish. I hadn't listened to it in a while. I would say if I had a vote, I would either go Chromacopia or JID. To me, those are the most complete two albums on the list tonight. Like the Clips album was dope, but again, for me, this is for me as a hip hop fan, some of the sonics on it, they're really dope, but it sounded like music that I had heard sequenced and done before, and it just didn't really feel. It felt. It didn't really. I don't want to use the word forced, but it felt like they were striving to reach an artistic peak with sounds that I had heard maybe 10, 15 years ago. And then for Glorilla, Glorilla was a dope album, but for me, I hate to be sexist, as a male, it just didn't really resonate to me like JID did. And
No.
Tyler's a little off the beaten path, but if you listen to his album, the way he sequenced it, Chromacopia, I would have to give it his album of the year. And then GNX, to me, GNX was dope, had a really some good highlights, but to me, it was just all right. So that my album of the year would I'm gonna say JID because he from Atlanta. I live in Atlanta. I would say JID, but close would be Chromacopia. Leroy, what's your thoughts?
Every year, the Grammys makes decisions that people end up talking about for the rest of the week. So don't you see the pattern right there? If they make a decision and then people keep talking about it, what do you think they're making the decision for? You know what I mean? Now, if you pick any of these artists, you notice how all the artists are good. If you just look at all of them, they're all good at what they do. So you think there's a wrong choice there? They're going to pick the ones that's going to keep people talking. Now, do I agree with everything they pick? No. Do I understand the psychology behind why they're picking what they're picking? Yes. Because people are going to say, oh, no, we disagree. Now let's talk about it for the whole week, which is great. I'm not against that. But I understand why they're going to keep you talking. This is the music business. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, you know?
I mean, I agree with you, Leroy. I mean, I look at it, I take it as a grain of salt. I look at the Grammys the same way I look at Rolling Stones hip hop list or a Pitchfork list about, you know, the greatest albums of all time. Like, it is what it is. Like I said, I don't really take it very serious. You know what I mean? Like, I think that we know as the hip hop community that they tone deaf to what we really like. So I don't think that we should get our hopes up and think that they're gonna make the right decision. They never really do. So.
I don't agree there.
They don't make the right decision as far as what we concerned.
I think they all good artists.
Take hopes. Let's take it out their hands for a second. Let's just talk amongst us on the weekend rhyme. Leroy, Super Duper Ron. If we had a vote based upon the albums that are presented, who would we vote for and why? I already told you I would vote for JID. That's what my vote. What will your vote be?
Yeah. My vote is I'm going with the Clips. Like I said, I think that their album made the real most impact with the real hip hop community. I think it was probably the most listened to, the most impactful, the most impressive. A big comeback from Malice. He came through, had one of the best years this year. He probably should be nominated for, if they took it and they was doing how we would take it, I mean, he should be nominated for Lyricist of the Year, but they ain't doing no shit like that. So it is what it is. Like I said, I mean, I think that we know as the hip hop community that Pharrell went hard on the beats, Push, Malice went hard on the lyrics, the songs, the impact, the rollout. That's what the culture feeling. So I mean, GNX, shout out to GNX, but this is why I was saying this before about being like songs of the year. You know what I mean? Like, even if the Grammys gonna cut this, if the Grammys is still counting albums that dropped in December and November for this year's awards, then we should be damn near cutting it off around that time. Like, I agree. I agree. Like, if an album drop in December, it shouldn't be able to be nominated for album of the year.
I know, but
you know what I mean?
Yeah, December is part of the next year. It stops.
It should be, and that's what I'm saying. Like, so that's what when we was making our list of albums of the year, and we was talking about the Nas, or talking about the Conway, or talking about those albums that dropped late in December, you know, late November or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, they shouldn't be able to qualify for those type of list of songs. Right. They should have to go into the next year because that's what the Grammys do.
Right. And Leroy, before you cook the songs, since Super brought the songs, the songs nominated tonight is Anxiety by Doechii, The Birds Don't Sing by Clips, Sticky by Tyler, the Creator.
Yeah, like, how was Anxiety even? Didn't she win for all that shit last year?
She won for the album. TGIF,
not for
TGIF, Glorilla, and TV Off by Kendrick. A lot of these songs is old. So I don't know.
I think the people at the Grammys,
they've been already rewarded for those songs and shit already.
I understand hip hop's concern here, you know what I mean? Because I'm obviously hip hop. However, you know what I mean? And we're gonna talk about equity in this culture. People that have been around, I've been around in this space for a minute now. But I understand, even if I disagree, right? I think the people in the Grammys have been in the music business for a long time. I understand what they're hearing. Do I have to agree with everything? No. But these are people that can play instruments. These are people that could sing all the different keys and do it. These are people that can perform. These are people that are seasoned in how to rate music. And I'm not gonna downplay that. You know what I mean? I don't have to agree with them, but these are people that, they hear music different, and I recognize that. If we were as big as fans as we are with hip hop, as we are with pop, if we were huge pop fans, if we were huge country fans, huge R&B fans, our ears would just be a little bit different. They just would be, you know what I mean? So, but we'll see. I think, I'd give it to the Clips. I'm not mad at whatever. I think everybody is good at what they do. When you reach the level of this level that they're on, you got to be good at what you do. You're not just there because you're you're just there. Like, nah, you have some level of skill to be even in the room, or even, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, it is what it is. We'll see.
Well, shout out to everybody that's nominated. We'll be watching tonight. I normally don't watch it. I probably get the highlights. I watch it on X and see who wins. But shout out to all the nominees. Hopefully, JID will bring it home to the A. Home team bias, I know. Let's get to the next topic. I see your boy Leroy is wearing red. I don't know if that means anything. I'll let him explain it. He's out in California, so I don't know the politics of that. So I'm gonna let the brothers. I got red on too, but I don't got the Cali red on. Like I got the Atlanta red on. So anyway, a mixtape just dropped by The Game. Again, when we reviewed this maybe a month back when he first dropped Every Movie Needs a Trailer with DJ Drama, I told you I thought Game pound for pound was the best in the West. He'd been holding that coast down for over 2 decades. Documentary turns 21 this year. Brings back, he re-ups, he drops new songs, he drops a whole new chapter of this series with DJ Drama called The End Credits. Starts off the joint with whatever, talking about he's down for whatever. He reasserts himself. He reasserts himself and he reestablishes the claim that he is the best in the West. He's the best in Compton. Leroy's gonna chop up the bars in a minute. My favorite joint on the album was Secondhand Smoke. Secondhand Smoke, he talks about, how karma works and how, if Puff set up big, why they set foot in the city. He talks about, how, he ain't mad at 50 for doing a documentary on Diddy. And his wordplay on that, I'm not going, the year is long, we in February. It's February 1st, but I will firmly say that Secondhand Smoke will make my top 10 list at the end of the year. Game was gliding on that record. Shout out to Mike and Keys, the production duo they work with Nip. Work with a lot of West Coast folks. Really dope producers, Mike and Keys. But yeah, I thought this album was dope.
Mike and Keys.
He worked with he had a song with Benny the Butcher. He had a song with Conway. He worked with Boozy. And really, we talked about this on the last episode, how, coasts are not really working with each other. Game is showing you that he's a student of the game. He's a fan of hip hop culture. He's bringing all these different sounds together and making just getting dope beats, dope rhymes, and just consistently making dope mixtapes. So this is really dope. The ad-libs by DJ Drama were cool. They really didn't annoy me. He wasn't all over the place on this one. But again, listen to Secondhand Smoke. If you don't listen to any song this weekend, it's going to show you that Game is really nice with that pen work. And back to the song, whatever. I know we'll talk about this in a bit. He was just talking his talk. You know what I'm saying? He says he's the best and competent. I believe him. I believe him based upon what I said, his ability to collaborate with other artists, his ability to hear different sounds. He even had a trap type joint on this joint. He's a very versatile MC vocally. He can do things with his voice that many MCs can't do. He can attack and get in the pockets of different beats. So shout out to The Game. He made another believer out of me. He's the best in the West. He's the best in Compton. Though I throw it over to Leroy, our resident West Coast expert with the red on, to explain to us the importance of the game and what is he saying on this joint.
Okay, no doubt. Shout out. I did wear the red because I'm grading the game situation here. but I'm also going to come back to that just to speak about LA culturally, not in the sense of like a gang culture, but there's a hip hop culture in LA that I think people just glaze over. But yeah, I wore the red for the game situation. So I'll talk about the first song last, only because that's the one that people have been talking about. But no, I mean, it's dope. Do I think it's like Game? I think Game is being cool here. I don't think he's really pressing on the gas on this project. But he makes separations. The song like Real Niggas with 21 Savage. That was dope. You know what I mean? He basically saying real ones going extinct. You know, you got snitching, dude. You know, dudes dressing like, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Secondhand smoke. Like you said, that was cool. That's a cultural type of song. The reason why I bring that up is because secondhand smoke. So obviously, the true meaning of that is if you join a gang, you'll acquire secondhand smoke. Smoke. So that's the point. I just want to bring that up because Glasses is in the space a lot. I respect Glasses for what he's done. I respect Glasses for his artistic expression, where he comes from. However, I do think he is looking at hip hop through a little bit of a gang culture. I don't blame him from doing that, but I just want to make some separations here. But Game is doing the same thing. So there's nothing wrong with doing that. I just wanted to point that out. Art Basel. Now that's when I really was listening. That is super fire. It's like retarded flames. Swiss Beats killed it. The hook on that. Shit is beautiful. Art Basel. I'm here looking at the pieces all casual. I make the Mona Lisa out these jaw jackers. Tony Montana had to fall backwards. Shit is beautiful. Art Basel. Leonardo da Vinci in a small castle. Whole gallery full of niggas that talk savage. Blood on you, stain your shirt. Paint your brain with the wall after. Come on, man. That's different. That's different. You know what I'm saying? Art Basel. So that was fire. Stefan Diggs, you know what I mean? That's fire. Shout out to you know, Evelyn Lozada and her daughter's podcast with Game on the podcast. You know what I mean? Real player shit. We already know you know what guys do out here. Favorite. I believe the song's called Favorite with Ty Dolla $ign. Shout out to Ty Dolla $ign, man. You know, it is an underrated hook guy. I appreciate Ty Dolla $ign.
Something for the ladies, something for the ladies. Favorite was something for the ladies.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing too. He the second half of the album, he really gets into the stuff for the ladies, and I do appreciate that because, you know, really on some West Coast stuff, if you don't have the songs for the ladies, it's a little bit off. You know what I mean? That we're into that. You know, we want to hear the songs for the ladies because that's part of the culture of the West Coast. You know, you're cruising around, you're looking for the ladies. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing, right? So Tricks, that was Flames with the old school delivery on that, and the Let Me Ride. You know, swing down, sweet chariot, and let me ride. Y'all know, you already know. Brick by Brick. That sounded like some movie music with Conway and Benny. That was fire. Use a Virgin with Bootsy. That was cool. I think that was cool, but I understand the
trap. He tried to do a little trap beat a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not mad. Yeah. No, I mean, cool. Run it. You know what I mean? That was fire. Well, I thought it was cool. Something in the Water. I thought it was cool. Like a lot of some of the beats though was kind of like laid back, and that's why I say like I don't think he was trying to smash on the gas like that. You have a lot of records just kind of it's like cruising music. Dead Homies. That's like something people LA say after they say something, they'll say Dead Homies. Kind of the same way someone in New York would be like Dead Ass. You know what I'm saying? So that's the same thing. Same deal. It Feels Like Heaven with Dom Kennedy. Shout out to Dom Kennedy, man. Just his style, I rock with his style. He talking about jewelry politics. You know, you come to California, you know, it's a lot of jewelry being passed around off these rappers' necks. So it's like when you don't wear your jewelry like that, coming to California. You know what I mean? Just to put that in the briefcase, man. You know what I mean? But going back to the first song, right? So we know he said something about Kendrick. He said, the first line, he said, if I ain't the best rapper from Compton, it gotta be Kendrick. If Kendrick's the best rapper, tell him come in and end it. Now everybody jumped on that, right? We're gonna talk about chasing clout, I guess, versus lyrical competition. That's the main thing I want to get to. But he also said after that, I'm clapping my hands for the man I've offended. Can't go to war against someone I gave my appendix. Y'all left that part out. And a lot of people critiquing you left that part out. So it's like, get the whole quatrain so there's context. You know what I mean? So I do believe there's room to have lyrical competition where it's not framed as hate or, you know what I mean, clout chasing or whatever. But that's up for the hip hop to decide. I'm just posing the question. I'm not telling y'all what to do or what to believe or nothing. You know what I mean? But I do want to get in that because that's a subject I discussed last year. Right? Lyrical competition. What is okay? What is not okay? And I think people should watch what Mickey Facts does this week with A-Verb and understand it's not personal. It's just lyrical. You know what I mean? A little bit personal, but yeah, I mean, shout out to Mickey. But yeah, that I thought the project was dope. Looking forward to the album. I think, you know, the album is really what I'm going to listen to and judge. This, I think he's chilling. I think for the most part, he's just chilling. You know what I'm saying? So,
I
but I
enjoy
enjoyed it.
I
Yeah.
enjoyed it, and Super, before you go, Super, I enjoyed it, and I thought this one was better than I enjoyed this series better than the first release, and I really liked the first one, you know what I'm saying? So I thought this one was, to me, it reminded me of an old album that I grew up back in the day listening to, like a mixtape. It just flowed the way it was sequenced made me feel like I was back in time and I'm hearing just an album that was just dope. You know what I'm saying? That's what I expect from a big artist. And that's what, and to me, I'm gonna give her a crazy Ron take right now. I'm sorry. I got game. And it's not even a hot take. I had to really think about this. I'm gonna go back and update my list. I don't know where he is in this. I don't know where he falls within it. We'll go into that later. But I got game in my top 15 all time.
I wouldn't be mad at.
I ain't mad
stand
at
on
it.
that.
I don't think that's a
Imma stand
crazy
on that.
take. Ain't nothing crazy about that.
Anything past 10, I'm not gonna argue with people. If it's past 10, yeah. So
You know what? I mean, y'all said everything that need to be said about the album, so let me just get straight to the bullshit. So
All right, let's go.
let's do it.
That's what
Let's
you
run it.
that's what you're here for, bro.
Straight to the bullshit.
That's what I changed the title on the screen. Let's go. Let's go.
I love the album from Game. Dope ass album, like y'all said. Everything was well spoken, well put, and I don't even put more on top of that. But how long do people get the duck Game and say that it's clout chasing? How many more rappers that he got to call out to battle before somebody shut a clout chaser up? That's really what I want to say. I think at this point, man, we can't keep on saying Game just chasing clout if nobody gonna shut his mouth. To be honest with you, I mean, how many people that he really got to go at before somebody really get at him? I think if we're gonna call Game a clout chaser, then we got to call these rappers cowards, because he keep calling out anybody. He keeps saying a friendly fade, and they keep ducking Game. And then the hip hop community, you know, I get that Game has smeared his name a little bit. He might run his mouth a little bit too much, and it is what it is. But we got to look at it, man. Game been calling out everybody. How long y'all gonna let Game walk into the room and say, I'll whoop all y'all ass, what y'all won't do? And you gonna sit there and be quiet and don't say nothing. So at this point, man, I look, you can call Game a clout chaser if you want, and it's all fine and dandy, but somebody need to stop him from clout chasing. Hey, shut him up. Prove him wrong. Prove him wrong. If he's such a clout chaser, prove him wrong.
I mean, I'm not mad at that opinion because I understand that opinion. In my view, you're supposed to walk into a room as a lyricist and be like, I'll whoop everybody here. I understand that mentality. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I can't argue with that energy. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand it. But I feel that people put so much on it that people don't even battle at all. Because when you have people later that'll come back and critique it, which is why I want everybody to critique. I know y'all know Mickey, my guy, but I want you to critique his rounds, critique his rhymes, and get into the critiquing of the battle, right? Because I think people put so much on it. Oh my God, he has to destroy his career. But see, when you're doing all that, you're adding multiple layers on top of something that's supposed to be lyrical competition. And I don't know why that is necessary for people to do that. You know, I mean, I know why they're doing it, but I think people should take a step back and realize that it's just competition. You know what I mean? I've spoken to Game about the issue before. You know what I mean? And he's like, bro, this is not is a problem. I don't have a problem with people. I actually like these people. It's just that I just want to compete as an artist, as a rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to compete. That's all. Like, it's not gonna be a problem. It's not gonna be looking for you or something. I just want to compete, and I think that the fans should be more receptive to that energy instead of looking for, like, oh, you see this bro out here clout chasing. Oh, he's a hater. Oh, you know, he wants a issue. I don't think it's that. I think 99% of the issue is never really that. And I think that we make it that, and that does a disservice to the game because, like I said last year, we only get like 1 or 2 battles every few years. This is a culture where we're supposed to get battles all the time. If you really think about it, like like we're supposed to compete
Right.
all the time.
So before you go, I think that's why it's even if it's not any beef, it's nothing personal. It's just on beats and rhymes. Then let's get to it. Let's see who the best in Compton is, and then let Kenny come out and let him and Game go at it and do a friendly fade on the mic and see who's the best is. And let's just do it. What's the problem? I mean, why is everybody ducking Game? Right? Ross didn't want no smoke with Game. Who else? Eminem didn't want no smoke with Game. Now it seems like, some friendly
That's
smoke,
what I'm saying.
friendly smoke, friendly fire, friendly smoke, the best in the West, just bragging rights. I mean,
the reason why is because if I'm an artist, right, and I think that the battle is gonna cause brand damage, then I'm not gonna do it. Right?
If you're the best, though, if you're the best, then it shouldn't cost anything, right?
I'm not damaging my brand. Because now it would be different if the people looked at it as, oh, this is lyrical competition.
This sound like corporate hip hop. This sound like corporate hip hop. This don't sound like hip hop. This sound like some
it could be corporate, right? It could be corporate. But if I'm C level or B level of the game, right, and I'm making that cop out, right? You could say, okay, you're corporate. But what if I'm leading the game, right? What if I'm in the lead? I'm the one that's on top of the game. I'm the one that's selling out the arenas. I'm the one that's winning the Grammys. I'm the one that's putting up the classic albums. Should I just say, okay, I'll accept the brand damage?
All that sounds
because
like
you guys you guys want me to be the punching
all that
bag.
Sounds like a corporate package. I got the tour, I got the Grand Awards, I got the charts. Let's just talk about rapping. Let's just talk about rapping.
I worked to get here.
Let's just talk about rapping.
I put in like 20 years of work.
It sound like some, like if you
put in like 20 years of work.
I for example, in sports, Kobe was known for this. Kobe had a big brand, but when them young guns like Kyrie Irving came through or whoever came to the gym and said,
it didn't damage his brand.
I mean, they had video cameras rolling. He still did it. He knew he could have got dunked on or crossed up. I
think people want to see Kendrick fall. It's the same. People want to see Jay fall because it makes people feel better if Kendrick were to fall off.
I want to see him compete. And I want to see him compete against somebody that it's not a pop star or a singing
why
dude.
Does Kendrick gotta,
but why does Kendrick have to do it? Because Game is friendly, has asked a friendly fade and say on the mic, let's just see who the best of Compton is.
You're the only one that thinks it's friendly.
You just said it. You just said it was friendly, though. You say you talked to Game, and Game said it's just friendly, and I think it sounds friendly to me. Then it's friendly.
Well, Game was a visiting professor at Pendulum, so I don't want to make it seem like I'm just talking to Game, but I did have the conversation in the class.
However, it sounds on context as friendly, and it should be nothing wrong. It's just like Mickey.
The internet don't take it like that. The internet takes it.
Nobody don't think it's no real problem with Kendrick and Game. They just want to see him rap.
Okay, well, I think the internet wants to see brand damage because the context that I hear on the internet is the level of energy behind their words is aggressive. So why are you talking about Why are you talking with aggression?
As a hip hop fan, I know you want to cook up soup. I just want to, as a hip hop fan, that's all I want to say. I want to see who the best in Compton is. That's all I want to see on the mic. I ain't talking.
You already decided who's the best.
No, I have not decided yet. My opinion is being held to my chest. I don't know who it is. I would like to. I think I have an idea, but I just want to see. Go ahead, Soup.
I'm gonna say this. I kind of agree with Leroy in a small way. I mean, I think we had this conversation in the group chat after Biggie and Tupac. The meaning of battles changed. I think that people look like I don't even look at Biggie and Tupac as a battle. You know what I'm saying? Like that was real beef. Like that was beef. You know what I mean? Like if Biggie, that's why he made the song was beef. I mean, that wasn't a rap battle. Biggie and Tupac didn't trade songs like that. You know what I mean?
Someone got shot.
Somebody got shot and Tupac was on attack. Biggie didn't really even reply like that. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't no real back and forth. They didn't go diss track.
He dropped some subs though.
He dropped maybe some subs, but like I said,
major subs.
He never dropped a major song at Tupac while the beef.
But it was more than lyrical.
That was beef. This getting back to my point. That was beef. You know what I mean? Ja Rule and 50 Cent. That was beef. You know what I mean? That wasn't no rap battle. Ja Rule, he made a couple songs, but that was real beef. A battle was more or less like the Big Daddy Kane and even Ice
Cannabis
Cube
and
and
LL.
Cannabis and LL, Ice Cube and Common.
Common and Ice Cube.
But Ice Cube never really replied like that to Common like that. Like it really wasn't no real back and forth. You know what I mean? After Tupac, after 50 Cent, the meaning of battling changed. And so like when they brought real street conflicts into the songs and real shit started happening, the hip hop community started looking at battling, like Leroy said, as brand damage. So I agree with you when you're saying what you're saying. Like people did want to see you
That's how I feel.
they want you to talk about his mama, talk about his baby, talk about his kids. They do want you to do that. So I understand, but this is why what Game is doing it is important. You know what I mean? If he asking for a friendly fade or if, even what Joey Badass was doing. Joey Badass is asking for a friendly fade.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool.
Yeah.
Like, we got to get back to understanding that, yes, this is hip hop, this is competitive, and this is what's wrong with a lot of J. Cole fans and why they trying to act like we so fucking wrong for wanting J. Cole or to not talk hard after you apologizing and doing what you're doing because you broke a tradition of hip hop. You know what I mean? The battling is
well, if you don't, you can't. We can't put it all on Cole now. If we're gonna say Cole broke a tradition of hip hop, if you the king of the game,
I don't think
I never heard of no king of the game being
tradition.
called out multiple times and don't say nothing back. So we're gonna have to keep that same energy for anybody else in this game. So I don't want to
that's what I
kick
was
Cole
saying
back
about
in.
Game. I 100% agree with you. How long is we gonna be able to keep passing off Game challenges as just clout chasing? How long
Well,
are we gonna be able to do that?
Let's get specific. How long are we gonna let
everybody
Kendrick?
respond to Game.
How
Don't
long are we
just
gonna let the
free
number
Kendrick.
one MC in the game, Kendrick Lamar, get away with this and have every album Game call him out, but in a friendly way, and not respond? How long are we gonna let this happen? How long is hip hop like?
Because even if he respond, then what? If he respond, then what? Something's gonna happen.
Then we listen to the record. We listen to the record and we make a judgment call about it.
But my thing is, every rapper is supposed to be engaging in battle. We're looking at the top guys as if they are always supposed to be engaging in battle, while the normal, regular guy is not engaging in battle. If you are a rapper, period, you're supposed to be engaging. And again, if it's not personal, see, that takes the steam off it because it's not personal.
Now,
but when you're acting like, and first of all, people pretended Cole didn't respond to Kendrick. But wasn't a fact. Cole did respond to Kendrick, and people say, well, no, we want more. So that was you know what I mean? So it's like, we gotta be real, like, you know what I mean? And again, when you're the lead guy, and I understand hip hop rules, I mean, the what we call the rules or whatever, right? I do think that it is your discretion because you are the lead car in the race. I think you have earned the right to decide whether you. I mean, I'm sorry because if the game respected lyrical competition, I would feel different. But I do not believe that hip hop respects lyrical competition. I do not believe that. So this is why I'm saying I believe our artists have discretion until people get respect for the art of battle.
well, maybe this could bring it back. Maybe this could bring it back though. Maybe this could bring it back.
That's
no problem.
Really saying.
When you have respect for lyricism, then I'll co-sign all the battles.
It's respectful.
I think that hip hop, too, like we look in, everybody like a good, battle rap. Everybody like what the battle rap scene, and everybody respect what they do. They get a little personal, but at the end
nobody's
of the day,
covering the battle scene.
At the end of the day, nobody is like, ain't nobody dying, ain't nobody getting shot. They talking about a lot of personal things a lot of the time.
Y'all know what it is. Y'all just don't want to say what it is, man. Y'all gonna try to make me say it, but I ain't gonna say it because I want people to subscribe to this podcast and hit like and subscribe. I'm not gonna go there today. Y'all know what it is, man. Y'all know what it is.
But Ron, you trying to make
this Mills is out here going crazy.
I think it's deeper than just a Kendrick thing, though. Like, for real. I think it's like a little bit deeper than Kendrick ducking Game, or he should have been responded by now. I think that it ain't really been like. It ain't really like he asking for a challenge. It's up to Kendrick to want to accept the challenge. I get it, and like I said, I mean, what my problem with the way we talking about it is like, yeah, everybody want to keep throwing call chasing on Game. It's like, man, that's getting lame right now. Like, we can't keep on just doing that to Game. Like, Game nice, Game a vet, he an OG, and he rap like a mug. So if we gon' you know, if we really gonna talk about it, I mean, I get it. Some people looking at it like Game still trying to earn his respect, or you know, I get what people are really trying to say. I understand the topic, but at the same time, man,
Yeah, I understand.
we
Yeah.
can't just keep on looking at Game like he a loser or something. And he not worth competing with, or he not worth answering. Like I said, we as the internet, we doing the rappers a favor. We can't keep giving them a pass and saying Game just looking for attention, or Game just doing this for clicks or internet. Somebody need to step up. If Game doing this for clout, we're your favorite rapper at to shut him up. That's really the point.
But
Is all I'm really saying. Like
yeah,
I
and
get.
if you did you cut out?
No, go ahead.
Oh, if you have a brand in rap, right? You're a rapper and you're doing this professionally. Don't you want clout for rapping? I mean, I thought that was the point of you being out here rapping, was so you could have the clout of being a rapper. So I don't understand if people say, okay, he's clout chasing. Well, doesn't that make sense if you have a brand in music that you're supposed to go after the clout? Especially if it's
To me,
lyrically based.
to me as a
You
hip
know what
hop
I'm saying?
community too, like I said, the community that this is a hip hop community talking point. Like this really, the hip hop community is the ones that's calling Game a clout chaser. You know what I mean? If we gonna say Game a clout chaser, then what was J. Cole just doing on that album by Sub dissing and you know, like what was that? You know what I mean? Like so I just don't think that
Man,
we gotta be a little bit more fair and balanced on what we said. If Game is clout chasing, then what was J. Cole?
right. Cole is saying that y'all don't really respect lyricism because y'all talking about beef. If y'all respected lyricism, and I'll go back to my other point, Jay Mills is out here going crazy. Where is hip hop media? Where is hip hop media on that? So do y'all respect lyricism, or do y'all just respect something that is trendy or beefy? Pause on that. But if you look at the context, if you look at the context of what I'm saying, I know it sounded crazy. But if you look at the context though, what I mean is energy surrounding potential beef, or potential he's gonna say something about this man's family or kids or mom or something. Guys, let's just get to the lyricism, because, and I do not believe that people want to go there because they're not there. They do not cover that. They don't cover the people that are actually lyrically skilled, engaging in battle. They didn't cover the actual bars that people was going back and forth with. They covered the gossip. You know what I mean?
Right.
If that shot's fired at people, you know, okay, but it's like the people covered the gossipy parts, and that's what
Right.
I think Cole was getting at, man.
And I want to
You know?
segue. I'm gonna throw it over to you, Leroy, to segue into our next topic: Mickey Facts versus A-Verb. I'm not trying to
Okay.
get into the gossip piece of this. I just want to see a friendly competition. I just want to find out.
I'll keep it short with that.
Sincerely, I want to find out who the best on the West is lyrically. I want to find out who the best in Compton is. And I'm hoping we get to see that one day because I think it's the game. Actually, I don't know yet. I don't know yet until I hear the music. But I have a strong inclination who it could be. But
I,
we'll,
I think a
we'll
good
never
Hey,
know.
idea. I think a good idea would to settle this. Just get on the track together and y'all make a song where y'all
Yeah.
y'all
hey,
doing
man,
y'all doing a
perfect,
battle, like y'all get on the track together and battle like that. And like I think
perfect.
this is a good moment for hip hop. We can recover from the mentality of thinking that beef gotta be Tupac and Biggie or Ja Rule and 50. You know what I mean? We can recover from that, and this can be a teachable moment
And,
where
and, and that was
we
a media thing to destroy our culture by making it some type of some violence or some beef. It was never like that. If you look at the history of battling, it was never really like that. It was just talking on wax, man. Even the Jadakiss and Beanie Siegel stuff was not nothing violent with it. It was just talking
Well,
on. I mean, they had some tough talk, but it wasn't nothing crazy. You know what
it's
I'm
the
saying?
same thing that we was hoping for from the Kendrick and Cole possibility. You know what I mean? We know that they weren't finna go meet up somewhere in the alley and fight, or it wasn't about to be nobody
Right.
shooting and
no,
killing each
but
other. We knew we wasn't thinking like that. We wanted to
that's
see what's the possibility of two guys that's from the turf, from the cloth. What was gonna happen if they really engaged and battled? I mean, nobody was expecting them to
that. It's
slice
a
each
good
other
point.
throats or nothing. You know what I mean?
It's a good point that you brought up, Ron. You brought up Beanie and Jadakiss though, because when that battle was happening, they didn't know it was real beef. Like Jadakiss didn't know that it was lyrical competition. Beanie Siegel did not know it was lyrical competition. They assumed that it was beef because the fans were like, this is beef. And then they said, okay. They didn't even know. Oh, so they did have to meet up and be like, is this beef? Because they honestly didn't know. And that's the danger in the temperature level of these conversations. You know, that the artists themselves don't even know. Like, and they literally met in an alley. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just said people meet up in the alley. They literally, and they had to ask themselves, like, do you really have a problem with me? And it's like, nah, this lyrical. And they're like, oh, okay.
And
So
this is a chance.
You know what I'm
this
saying?
is a good
Like,
chance
come
to
on,
change
like,
the temperature. This is a good chance to change the temperature.
come
Like,
on
for real.
now.
It's a good chance.
Exactly. So let's segue, Leroy. You really close to the situation. Mickey Factz versus A-Verb.
Right.
What's going on with this, man? I heard the record that you sent us early in the chat. I thought it was really dope. I followed a few of the records. I heard the A-Verb record from last week. I thought that was kind of dope. I like the beat on the joint. What's going on with this situation? Is it lyrical? What's going on?
Okay.
What's the history of it? Let us know. Let the people know what's going on with this.
Okay, so Mickey Facts versus A-Verb, but I'm really drawing attention to the whole battle culture. Right? People know that me and Mickey are cool and that's fine, but I really want people to pay attention to that whole scene. So you could, but this week Mickey's gonna be engaging with A-Verb. But and I just want people to pay attention to that, because if we're talking about lyrical competition, we got to know how to compete, right? Because we need an example. Like, can you show me an example of somebody who's lyrically competing so I could kind of know? So I want people to pay attention to that battle this week, because it is a little bit personal, but he's making it just lyrical, and that's what Mickey does. You know what I mean? And I want people to know how. Okay, if I target an artist, right? How do I attack this artist lyrically, right? And make it to where we know it's just skill based. I need an example. So I want, and like I said, if you don't follow him, if you don't follow that, Jay Mills is out here. Ram Nitty, I think you want a piece of Jay Mills. You know what I mean? So, and there are other battle raps going on, but I think people should pay attention to that so we know how to battle, right? And we know how to wait, what we're gauging as a win, what we're gauging as a loss, etc. So that's the only reason why I'm bringing that up. He dropped the first song today, right? It's called was it verbalize. So like A-Verb verbalize, right? So that's track one. Now he's gonna drop a track every day, right? So I think people should pay attention to that. And now after that, we can all jump in the ring and have a Royal Rumble, you know what I'm saying, of rappers, you know, and we can all battle each other. And then we know that we could shake hands, go have a drink at the bar. Like, this ain't serious, bro. And so it's like, we gotta know how to do that. That's all. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, yeah, for sure, man. Hey, salute to Mickey Factz for sure, man. I mean, I respect, I was entertained by the the True Foe battle that he has. Shout out to True Foe. I'm gonna be paying attention to his music, and shout out to Mickey for battling respectfully, man. I mean, I had it 2-1. I think True Foe, that last song that he made was dope. I think that he got over it. But when you battle a man, you're gonna say a little bit of something that's gonna be a little personal. You just gonna get in your chest a little bit. But it should bring the best out of you. We
Exactly.
we come from a culture of ribbing and snapping and talking a little crazy to each other anyway. So it's part of the game. So Mickey Factz calling him a store runner. That's dope. You know what I mean? And it's gonna feel a little personal. It's gonna sting a little bit. You know what I mean? It's gonna sting a little bit, but this is the culture. And like I said, salute to Mickey for holding it down, and True Foe. Like that's a battle. That's how you're supposed to do it. This is what we really used to. You know what I mean? Like I said before, man, the Tupac and Biggie and the J and 50, that changed the way we really look at how we look at battling. I don't want to even say beef, because it ain't beef. It's battling. So shout out to Mickey for holding down the culture and bringing it back. And like I said, this I'm great. Like, we all do need to pay attention to this. This need to go viral, for real. We need to be paying attention
Y'all should have seen
to this.
Yeah, I don't mean to cut you. I'm gonna let you go back, but the battles is crazy. Y'all should have seen the last time I was in LA, where this young man named Maverick came up to me and he said, "Yeah, use a bit, and he just started going crazy on me, right? He's calling me every name in the book. He's you gay, you all this, and I'm just listening, dude, right? But I appreciate that energy though. You know what I mean? If you gonna bring it, I appreciate that energy. Now I'm not gonna tell you how it went for him after it was my turn to go, but the people that was there, you know how it went for him, right? But I like that energy, right? Because that's rapping, right? I didn't take it. It's not personal with this guy. It's not, you know what I mean? I like dude, but it's rapping. You know what I mean? It's just rapping, and he did it in person, face to face. I respect that energy too. You know what I'm saying? So let's get back to that, and
Right.
actually gauge the lyricism. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, hip hop got to get over the somebody got to die mentality. I definitely agree. We got to get over that,
Right.
and salute to Mickey, and salute to A-Verb and Truffaut and all, even the battle rappers that they get up there and they it's a lot of personal shots. They bringing up real things in these dudes' lives, and they can go city to city and state to state and do it again. So, you know what I mean? Like
So
we got to be able to. We need some of that culture to brought back into the mainstream and into hip hop.
right. So to kind of continue this three-parter, this is the second part. We talked about Game, we talked about Mickey and A-Verb. I heard the record because we talked about it on the last pod, but the record hadn't come out yet. I heard this Fabio Foreign joint,
Dope.
Rat,
Yeah, man.
and I want to say this, man, and I'm not just saying this because I'm in Atlanta, and I say this with all due respect. Man, I thought the record was real whack, man. I'm
What?
sorry, man. I ain't feeling it, man.
You hate.
Hey, man.
You hate
Hey.
Corny.
It's
The
all
video
good.
was corny. The video was corny. Much respect to bro. Much respect what he
Right.
do, and hopefully we'll have him on the pod. And I want to dig into his music a little bit more. But I'm really not feeling bro music, and I'm not really feeling this joint.
Yeah, that's all right.
It just don't sound good to me. But that's my ears.
Listen, man, I like it. I like that he admitting the clout chasing. I like it. I like that he said that, man, I set the trap and you fell for it. And like I said before, man, Atlanta gonna have to take some of this on the cheek. They gonna have to eat it. I hope 21 come back at him. And like I said, they can, I get it. 21, he's not like a rap battle type of dude. He let it be known. He's really serious about that. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I mean, I'm not mad at it, man. Admitting the clout chasing, you saying what you saying, the song is dope to me. I like it, man. I ain't gonna.
I'm surprised, Superman. You like this record, man. Come on, man.
And
What
y'all
you
know
like?
I like 21.
You thought he was sliding. You thought he was sliding on the beat. You thought the beat was tight, man. Come on,
Listen,
man.
I like that he put it in song. I like that he admitted to clout chasing. Like, really, for me, it's funny that he just was like, "Yeah, I set the trap for the rat. Like, I set the trap for the rat."
Right.
It's dope to me. I like the concept. It's funny. I like it, man. I ain't mad at it.
Yeah, I like the audacity, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I like the audacity of it. I do too. I respect it, man. I can't do nothing but respect it.
I like the audacity. It's not personal. Like, it's
We're
not personal.
not even gonna respond to this down here, man.
I hope they do though. They listen, man. Y'all gotta listen. They gotta. Y'all.
It makes you better,
fam. They gotta.
It makes you better.
Atlanta gotta eat it. They gotta go. Pause. But they gotta take this or stand up and defend yourself. But man, y'all put the business is out there in the street. People gonna use it against you. So
the battle energy is only gonna make you stronger.
Y'all can't believe everything y'all see. Y'all can't believe everything y'all see in the news and the internet, man. All that's cap.
I don't.
Man. We ain't gonna.
I don't.
No, we ain't gonna stand for this for too much. But anyway, I want to give bro some light on this joint. But from a hip hop perspective, I wasn't feeling the record. I want to get into another topic because I want to end on a good note. It's rarely when us three agree on something. But before I get into what we all agree on, I think it's gonna be a refreshing perspective. I think maybe hell might be frozen over. We all agree on the same thing. But before I get into that, there was another event, and I have a question for us. Was this the end of Versuz as we know it, right? Because we had this Versuz with Mike Will Made It. I think it was in Los Angeles versus Hit Boy. And Leroy, we had a lot of conversations back and forth in the chat about, in this space of ours, so this independent media hip hop podcast, there's a lot of talk about Hit Boy. And I like Hit Boy. Hit Boy is a dope. He's been a friend to our brothers over at According Hip Hop for a very long time. But to me, I was really disappointed in the Versuz, not in a few different ways, right? I was disappointed in the format of it, right? I think this should have been a more of an intimate setting, pause a little bit, and no pause about it. It should be just more
Like a
intimate.
smaller venue,
A
or
smaller venue. It shouldn't have been, it should have been Mike Will by his laptop and his mixer and his deck, and Hit Boy behind his mixer, his computer, and his deck, and they probably had a host maybe in the middle, and they could talk about the nature of that's how I would have produced it, right? How we explain how
the
did this song
backstory.
come about? Oh, this song was originally for such and such, and we dropped this, and boom, they go back and forth, get some context, kind of like how the RZA and DJ Premier did their joint, right? Just have it like that because you could really understand the music, they understand the landscape. Now, people argue that Hit Boy was a more versatile producer because he's got stuff with Jennifer Lopez, he's got stuff in with
Well, he is, yeah.
Beyonce, and he's got a wide spectrum of Mike Will made it too, but again, what I heard was that for 5 to 6 years, if you went out, especially in Atlanta, if you was in any club, Mike Will made it was a soundtrack for your experience for a good 5 to 6 years. You know what I'm saying? That kind of was evident in the verses. But back to my point, I don't think it was produced really well. The crowd wasn't really feeling it. I just think it was just poorly produced. And to me, I think it might be the end of verses. I think it wasn't well executed. It was just put together, and I didn't like it. So I'll turn it over to Super first because I know Super got some thoughts, and then Leroy, you come after that. So Super, what did you think about the verses, brother?
Man, that was super trash. I ain't even gonna front. It was boring and it was trash. I think that they
You
should
had
have
a good
they should
time?
have they should have did that in a club. I think it would have been better to do that like at a real club scene with the DJs. People you could have really showed the people really feeling the music a little bit more. I think it would have been a better atmosphere for that type of verses in the first place. But man, Hit Boy got beat down with hits. That's really what happened. Hit Boy got beat down with hits. Mike Will came to be serious. He came, played his real hits, and it seemed like Hit Boy came to promote his newer records and the songs that he did with Alchemist, the Big Sean record, and you know what I mean. The verses basically felt like Future versus Kendrick. To be honest with you, if you watched it, they played about 4, 5, 6 Kendrick and Future songs a
Yeah.
piece between the two of them. Like so, it was a lot of Kendrick and Future songs going on back and forth, back and forth. That's how I looked at it. The verses was basically Kendrick versus Future, and Hit Boy just shout out to Hit Boy. He been producing dope records. I like Hit Boy, but yeah, he just got outclassed by hits that night. Mike Will showcased that he got real hits and he been putting out fire beats for a long time. And I don't think that Hit Boy it just didn't like I said, it just looked like it was levels to this shit. Like Hit Boy got some nice tracks, but he ain't got the hits that Mike Will got. And so it was a lopsided versus. And I really think that Hit Boy kind of came in wrong and used it more as a promotional tool than like trying to win a versus battle. I think that he was trying to promote.
Well, I mean, every verses is always the end of verses, like with people out there, you know what I mean? But I think the verses is from the perspective of the music industry based on hits. So it's like if I go to a movie to see a Marvel movie, I know what I'm getting before you know what I'm saying? Before I get there, like I know what it is. Like, so I think they just give you what it is. If you know it's about hits, then that's what it's about, right? So then you got to look in your region and you'll see what you're more apt to like. But that's another perspective. But as far as and I wore this red not just for the game situation, but for LA culture, right? So a lot of times if you're from LA, Hollywood is right there. So what does that mean? It creates an energy where you're kind of anti-Hollywood. Why? Because it's right there. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like it's not new to you. You know what I mean? So in the streets of LA for real, hit records don't really matter, and the ones that do matter are for the ladies. You know what I mean? Like I said again, we're gonna make records for the ladies in LA on that level. If we're talking about radio hits, yada 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 yada, right? So Hit Boy, he came in under Polo the Don as a mentor, but kind of like whatever label he was signed to, which I forget at the moment, his job was to make a well-rounded music for a number of artists so they could have placement on radio So that's what he did. You know what I mean? He
I
did
mean, but
his job.
so did Mike Will.
That's that's what he did.
His hits just hit a little harder.
Okay, so
That's
they
all.
did their job.
Right.
They only did their job. That's not a battle to me. In LA is like anti-industry. I know people don't believe that because they're looking at LA as Hollywood. They don't know that LA is really not Hollywood. Do you know what I'm saying? So LA don't care about them hits. They want to see you get to it. You know, and that's a different perspective. You know what I mean?
I
So
think Hit Boy.
in my view, if you're not chopping records, vinyl, turntable, LA's about turntablism. Where is that? Where you can't have a battle in LA and you not scratching and chopping them records? That don't make sense to LA. So, and people don't know that. They think LA is just all clubby. So it's like, all right, you know what I'm saying?
I think Hit Boy thought he was gonna get a little bit of home cooking too. I think, because it was in LA and Mike Will from Atlanta, and he brought that ATL swag out there. I think that Hit Boy was kind of expecting the crowd to give him a little bit of home cooking. But when them songs got to
I
playing
didn't.
and people got to remembering, like, oh damn, Mike Will made this, like it hit a little different. But
Yeah.
overall, man, it's gonna be hard for Versus to get that Cash Money No Limit energy. I mean, people was having watch parties for that. Like, I mean, the club, like that they was playing that Versus in the clubs and bars, and people was getting
Mhm.
together and barbecuing and cooking for that
It was
Versus.
it was breaking out some fatigues and they old
Right,
chains
right.
and they
People
and
was
the
putting
white
on
tees
outfits and
and
everything for that. Right. So it's gonna be hard for them to capture that energy
Yeah.
again. It's gonna be hard for them to do it. And I think that just because how cowardly this goes back to the battle thing. You know what I mean? People was just scared to stand on the stage and play their songs versus another guy. So people looking like hip hop really got to get back to not fearing competition. Like we do gotta get back to competing, and artists, sticking and feeling like they too good for a versus stage. That's whack. You know what I mean? So I think
I think a good one personality wise. I think these two brothers aren't afraid of competition. I think if they can get the paperwork together, I think 50 Cent versus T.I. Now stylistically, I mean they got a lot
I
it
mean,
could work in multiple reasons. They both got hits. They both got, street songs. They both got songs for the ladies. They got clubs for the songs for the clubs, and they got their mixtape bag. So I think that might be a good
yeah.
one to
I
get the
mean,
energy of verses back. 50 versus T.I.
true, true. I don't think 50 would do it because again, people look at stuff as brand damage. The first things 50 is gonna say is, well, my brand. Now he's not gonna say that. I take that back. He's not gonna say that. But the first thing he's gonna think about is his brand. I'm just telling y'all. So, but the last thing I say is about LA is don't go to LA thinking that it's Hollywood. You know what I mean? And if you bring that Hollywood energy to the stage of LA, the crowd is not used to that. You know what I mean? LA is not Hollywood like that. I know people think it is because it's right there by Hollywood, but I'm just telling you, go ask Alchemist about what LA is about, and he'll give you a better understanding of LA. You know what I'm saying? Or
I,
go that's the
I mean,
thing. Daz
I
Dillinger,
think you
ask him
said
what
I
LA
think
is
you
about.
saying you saying all that because how dead the crowd it was, right? Is that why you really bringing that up?
No, no, I expect them to be dead because you're playing songs they already heard 1,000, a
Right.
million times.
And
You know what I
I
mean?
just
Like,
think
if
that
I heard the
with
song 1,000 times,
the
mhm,
execution was just done poorly by Versus, like you said, right? I think, like I said, I think the atmosphere wasn't the right atmosphere for two producers to go at it. Like the atmosphere, it wasn't really like that type of atmosphere. It would have worked better in the club where you could see more of a real crowd reaction to the songs. It would have worked better. Like the way that the crowd was and the way that it was executed, I think it was just done poorly, like you said.
watch Alchemist versus Just Blaze, right? Watch Alchemist versus Just Blaze, and you'll get an understanding of what LA considers a battle. Like, they want to see a battle. These guys are getting up there just playing records. That's not a battle. That's a concert. And that's my only gripe with verses is you're not battling. You're having a concert.
Well, it's not a battle.
These are
It's
two
it's
different
it's a
things.
it's a it's a hits battle.
Right.
It's not a skills challenge. It ain't a freestyle challenge. It's a your hits versus this guy's hits, and that's what it is. So it was, I get what you're saying. I get what you mean when you're saying what you're saying, but at the same time, that wasn't
That's gonna work in
what this
LA.
was. They wasn't having a DJ
Work.
competition, or they wasn't making a beat on the spot. They was playing hits. So, it is what it is.
LA culture is DJ culture. They're not interested in radio culture. And even though LA has huge radio songs, we understand. But LA is a DJ culture city. So next time y'all do something like that, y'all better get in your bag, man, because just playing the record and then dancing around, people in LA gonna be like, oh, okay. Like they don't know what else you want them to do with that. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Hit Boy though, and Hit Boy is great at what he does though. It's just that we don't get the information showing why he's great. He gets that information in the mailbox when he gets his royalties and all that. He could show you this is why I'm great. We don't get that information. You know what I mean? So I just think we got to remember that too. You know what I mean? But shout out to both of them. They both did their thing. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt, no doubt. Let us know in the comments what you think about this Versus. Who do you think won? I gotta show my bias again. I'm gonna go with Mike Will Made It, even though got much love for Hit Boy. I think he did his thing, but I just think the Versus was poorly produced. Hopefully we'll get a big Versus. I think they need it. They need like that big Versus, like the Locks versus Dipset, a Snoop Dogg versus DMX. Who did Teddy Riley? It was a Teddy Riley versus Babyface. We need Teddy Riley versus Babyface. We need a big Versus. Hopefully we'll get that T.I. versus Wayne, T.I. versus 50 Cent. We need something to bring it back because right now
performers.
It just ain't hit.
I think
get people that know how to perform.
A dope idea would be like, even an East versus West, South versus New York, South versus, Atlanta versus New York, or, and get a couple of people together to change up the ideas. Get like 4 guys to kind of come compete regionally or something like that. Memphis versus Atlanta, Houston versus
Miami.
Houston versus LA, or you know what I mean? So we can switch it up and find ways to like spice it up a little bit.
But then how are you gonna get the artists though? How do you pick and how do you get artists? You know what I'm saying? I think that the rules make it where people don't want to show up. You have to remember, if you get, like you said, a 50 Cent and a T.I., right? These guys are not used to following rules. That's not the energy they come from. Do you feel? So when you get them up there, okay, you gotta follow these rules. We need the hits, and they're gonna be like, oh, okay, like they're just not used to that. And I know that people feel like they need a format and this, that, and the third. But I'm telling you why it's hard. If you try to break down rules to 50 Cent, he's like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna play by no rules because you telling me I gotta play the hits. Like, he's not gonna say that, but he's probably thinking that. You know what I'm saying? And I think that we need to remove the rules, which I know that people not gonna do. You know what I mean? They're not gonna remove the rules. So I think that's the issue, because in hip hop culture, they're used to seeing one MC or DJ versus another MC or DJ, but the rules aren't there. You feel what I'm saying? So that's a different.
I mean, what rules
visual.
you talking about? The only rules that they got is like 20 songs versus 20 songs. Like, what you mean the rules?
Okay, so let me give you an example. When Jadakiss broke into a freestyle, right, which won him the battle, he broke the rule to win that. Do you know what I mean? And I know people will say, well, that's a song and da. But the reason why he won is because he broke that rule. But Jadakiss was supposed to do that. He's not a follow the rule guy.
I mean, the reason why they won is because we felt like they won. It was crowd participation. It was the moment. You know what I mean? They won because of the moment. I don't even think it was.
But
really
he just
because
used bars.
Like right. I mean,
it's Swiss, Timbo. If you want your boy Ron to come produce the next Versus, you can call me, hit me on the website, hit me on the email. I would gladly. All 3 of us can produce it. We have Leroy, Super. We can all come together and give you a fresh, dope Versus. Let us know. Hit us like and subscribe. Let us know in the comments what you think. Let's go to another topic. I don't know. I don't have much notes on this. I know we saw him at the Versus. We can skip to our topic that we all agree on, and we can talk about this. I'll defer to you, Leroy. Did you have anything to say about Big Sean?
Only that Big Sean. I like Big Sean, and I understand if people don't. I've also heard Big Sean projects, and by the end, I'm like, so I get it. but the thing what I like about Big Sean is I hear the potential is there though. What I mean is the potential is there for a great album to come from him in some capacity, right? So the next album is he got Alchemist with him. So that energy between Alchemist and Big Sean, I'm interested to hear what that sounds like. You know what I mean? That's the only thing I'm saying. Because in my view, I think that when Drake was getting the whatever backlash he was getting for his, battle with Kendrick, I think Big Sean should have been out there, promoting his music, dropping music, because I think he could feel that space. Whether I'm not talking about just getting all the sales, but I'm thinking about a person that's close enough to the big three to where he could enter that arena with material.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
think he did. He did put out an album because he think he had On Up was one of the records where he took the Jodeci joint and flipped it. He put out a record during that beef. But and he did the
okay,
tiny
okay,
he did the Tiny Just joint. I
right,
just
right,
think Big Sean is that, I hate to, and again, but I like Big Sean. We got to get that list, like this S tier, A tier, like he's in a different tier of rappers. When he puts out music, he's dope, but people don't look at him as one of those ones on the A list.
that
And,
man
and,
rapping,
and
man.
I'm not saying he can't, but it's just
That man be
whatever
rapping.
whatever reason it is, people are not are not going to have their thumbnails and their whole rollouts around Big
They paying
Sean.
attention to everything Drake does, like Drake, Drake, Drake. So no one else matters. You
We
know what I
had
mean?
this
It's like,
conversation.
but I hear you.
We had this
Mhm.
conversation in the chat on like what is it about Big Sean that people I think that people just don't take him serious. I think that he's one of those guys that we recognize that he can rap, he got a nice flow, but he kind of like in that ludicrous bag, like where he almost too playful sometimes, and people just don't really just take him serious enough to like put him
What
up
serious? He's a
to,
rapper.
to put him up there in those like in those levels of guys that you kind of take a little bit more serious. So I
He's like
think it's
Will
just
Smith, Will Smith.
They
Will
take
Smith was
Drake
nice on the mic.
serious.
Will Smith was
right.
nice on the mic. Will Smith is dope. Will Smith can really rhyme, but we don't look at Will Smith as like one of those ones like that. So I think Big Sean, Will Smith, people like
I don't
that.
know.
That's kind
I
of
don't
like
know. I don't
Will
I
know.
mean,
Smith can rap. I mean,
Ludacris
let's not
too.
front
I
on
know.
Will.
You could put Ludacris in that same category where people, like I said, he rap, he dope, but
No.
people not really putting Ludacris in their
Like
top.
Chance the Rapper, Chance the Rapper. We don't really take Chance the Rapper like
I think the separation between those
I think we
guys
take
is
Chance
we
more
know Will
serious than we
Smith
do Big Sean,
is an
though.
actor.
I think
When
we take Chance the Rapper
Ludacris
a little
and
bit more
Big
serious.
Sean, if anybody wants to challenge Ludacris or Big Sean to rapping, then let me know, and we'll see who is serious.
I just think,
Challenge Ludacris and Big Sean to a rap battle, and we'll see if
No,
they're serious or not serious.
I'm not disputing if whether they're nice on the mic or they can get busy with a lyrical
That's
battle. I'm
serious.
not saying that. I'm saying the way their music, because you even said you forgot about it, Leroy. You said he should
Forgot
have put
about
out some
what?
music during the battle between Drake and Kendrick and
No,
Cole. He did put out a
but
music. He did a Tiny
I
Desk,
know,
and
but
nobody really was feeling it.
no, but how can you with Drake standing there when if everybody focuses on Drake, like so you can't see nobody else. You know what I mean? But my whole thing is like, if it comes to just rapping though, and that's and this is I do not believe hip hop respects rapping. I do not, because I don't see an energy for that respect. I'm looking for it, and
I
I
mean,
don't see it. I see the respect for, does the radio like him? Then I like him. That's hip hop. And it's like I'm not from that. You know what I mean? So it's like I
Big Sean,
understand if you have a red man person, people don't have to take red man serious, but challenge him to a rap battle. You know what I'm saying? Then you're gonna get a different energy. You know what I mean? Challenge red man to a rap battle.
I just think that
You know?
once you get labeled as kind of lame or corny a little bit in hip hop, it's hard to shake that. Like no matter what, even if you are or not, I'm not calling Big Sean lame or even corny really, but I'm just saying like once you get that label and once people kind of look at you like that, it's hard to shake it. When it
Do
comes
they
down,
know what cool is?
but when it comes to hip hop, it has a lot to do with personality. It has to do a lot with the way you say rhymes, the way that you execute. It's got a lot to do with they go together. And I just think that Big Sean's just It's almost like I said, I think he dope. Like, there's nothing wrong with the way he rap. He rap and spit. It's just that he's almost too playful. It's almost like he's childish in a way, and like people just don't
Okay.
really take him seriously.
He was 17 when he came through the door.
Y'all know what it is though. It's like he not gonna ever. I mean, I like Big. Like again, I like this last record. I like what he did on the Tiny Desk. I like Big Sean, but like I liked Big Sean since he was on with good music. I like Big Sean, but you know, it's certain tiers to this rap shit. If Big Sean come to your city, the women ain't gonna be gonna get their nails done and their hair done. The players ain't gonna be getting their rides right and getting fresh to go to no big. Ain't gonna be no buzz about no Big Sean show in the city. Just not.
That's
It's not.
unfortunate.
It's
That's
gonna be cool to
unfortunate.
go to, but ain't nobody gonna be getting
That's
ready
unfortunate.
and
It's
traffic gonna be
unfortunate.
down the block for no Big Sean show. It
It's
just is what it is,
unfortunate
man. There's no
that
disrespect.
Young Thug will get people. Young Thug
I'm
will
not
get
being
you excited.
disrespectful. I'm just being truthful. I'm
Young
just being
Thug will
truthful. I'm
get
being truthful.
everybody excited, but Big Sean is the corny one. While Young Thug,
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
like,
I just said
it's unfortunate that I don't think hip hop knows what is cool, because if Big Sean comes to your city and nobody cares, do y'all know what's cool or not?
It's not like Big Sean. It's not like Big Sean though.
Y'all looking for the wrong things in cool, because if Little Baby comes out here, all of a sudden now that's cool. And I'm not dissing Little Baby. I'm thinking people are compartmentalizing cool. Cool is cool. When you compartmentalize it, it almost makes it seem that you're adopting what the industry is promoting to you as cool. Let's take the industry out of it. Some people, they would be cool without the industry. The coolness is already there.
I don't, Big Sean, if you really look at his career, I mean, he did a lot of radio play. He's out there. He get a mainstream push. It's not like it's not like he an underground guy or nothing like that. A lot of his songs make the radio. He get a push when he drop. It's just that I just don't think that the fans just, like I said, I think he's a little too playful, and people just don't take him serious enough to be in those conversations like a Kendrick or like a Cole, or you know what I mean, like that, or even like even like a 21 Savage in a way.
Like the big three.
You just don't, even the big three, like whatever, however you want to put it, guys that's just kind of
the big three.
They just get a little bit of respect because of what
take the seriousness off it, and take the seriousness off, and remember that it's just rhymes and beats. It was never meant to be serious. Now take the serious off. You know what I mean?
It's not.
So
listen,
I think people are looking for
like he got. I'm not saying
serious.
that he need to be
It
street
was
or
never
tough.
meant to be serious.
I'm not even really
It's
saying that
music.
he need to be street or tough or anything like that. It's just
music.
look.
It's
Kanye West is one of those guys that he wasn't tough with his bars, but you could feel him. Like you still kind of took him a little bit serious when he said what he said, and just like his delivery and his execution, it wasn't always playful. Big Sean is like a guy that's just playing all the time, it feel like. And that's just what it is. I think the hip hop community recognized that. They feel that from him, and it's the same thing with Ludacris. It just feel like he always playing around. He just playing all the time. So it's
listen to the album. See, people didn't listen to Ludacris albums. Had they listened to the albums, they would have heard, oh, this person is a real person. But when you only listen to the singles, now he's a caricature. You feel what I'm saying? When you only listen to the singles of a Big Sean, he's a caricature. When you listen to the album, it's like, oh no, he comes from a living real life.
But
you have to listen to if people listen, if there's no way you could listen to a Ludacris album and not hear that, oh, he actually is a serious person behind the character.
But that's how he presented himself. And I think him and Jay-Z had a conversation.
I should have listened to the album.
And he admitted it. He was like, you know what? I think Jay-Z told him, so you're really nice on the mic, but a lot of people don't know that because they see these silly videos, they see all these caricatures.
Like Missy.
And then he did some self-evaluation. I got to go back and read the article, but he even said, yeah, you're right. A lot of people don't understand that I'm nice on the mic because I presented myself in this way. So it's not our fault as a hip hop community that we took those
it is your fault.
No, it's not. That's the presentation that was presented to us.
Right.
And
on radio, y'all didn't go past radio. Y'all stayed on radio.
It's not talking to me. I live here. I lived through it. Not me. I understand. I was there when Incognito
Come on,
came
it's
out.
no way y'all
Fat Rabbit. His first thing that we heard was Fat Rabbit by Timbaland.
Come on, man.
That's not a serious record. Let me have it.
Come on, I think people in their mind, in people's mind, they think they're Tony Montana in their mind.
No.
So when you try to present something to them that doesn't speak to the Tony Montana in their brain,
I don't
they're
agree,
like, "Oh,
Leroy.
that's not
Man,
that's not real."
people
But
respect
y'all think
Common.
that in people's mind, they are the toughest thing walking
2
around.
Chainz, 2
So
Chainz, 2 Chainz be
they can't
joking.
understand
Right.
somebody
It's not about being
that
tough.
come on, man.
Leroy, this ain't
It's
got
not
nothing
about
to do
It is
with
that.
being
about being
21
tough.
tough. If you're not acting tough, then people won't take you
No,
serious in
man.
rap.
We just
I don't
had a
think
whole.
I don't I don't
Unfortunate.
think I don't think 2
That's
Chainz I don't think 2
unfortunate.
Chainz 2 Chainz presents
That's
himself as
unfortunate.
some tough guy. I don't think 2
Oh,
Chainz
no, he
presents
Or even
presented
Common. I
a
mean,
dope
or
boy.
even Common,
He
man.
definitely presented a dope boy era.
We
He
not
definitely
only
presented a dope boyish
listening to street raps and
yeah.
hardcore people. We accept people for what they do. It's just
Common
about
is labeled as a lame in hip hop. Common is labeled as
So
a lame.
Busta Rhymes wasn't
Busta Rhymes is labeled as a lame.
No, he's not.
Busta Rhymes is labeled as a lame in hip hop.
No,
And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that somebody like freaking Busta Rhymes will get hardly no respect. And that's unfortunate. in my view. That's
people call
because
Busta
y'all want
Rhymes.
to be
People say
tough.
people
Y'all
say
want to be
might say
tough.
people might say that he's
Y'all want
animated,
to
but
be tough.
nobody disrespecting Busta's raps
Oh,
and
I've
spitting.
heard
nobody
crazy
Again,
disrespecting
Leroy,
rap.
this
Come
is
on, man.
this
I've
is
heard crazy disrespect.
this is these artists' fault for presenting
I've heard
themselves.
crazy disrespect.
It's not the fans' fault for perceiving them how they presented themselves. It's not my fault that
No,
he
no, 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 no.
did. It's
No,
not
no,
my
no, no.
fault. It's not my. That's
Y'all
what
didn't
you
buy the
presented.
album. Y'all
That's
didn't
what
buy
you
the
did.
album.
Then why would I? If
Y'all
you
didn't buy the
presented yourself,
album.
maybe that discouraged many fans from buying the
Y'all didn't buy
album
the album.
because of the way it was presented. Maybe the
But that's
playful
the
rhymes.
okay. So the fans should understand what a performer is, right? When you see Ludacris, Busta Rhymes, Big Sean, do y'all know how to delineate a performer versus somebody who's being serious? When you hit a stage, you perform. When you do a video, you perform. This is not me trying to tell you, oh, I'm just real serious, I'm serious.
That's not. I
This
don't
is
think
not
that's.
that, my brother. This is music. This is me. I'm entertaining you. I'm not here to tell you, hey, I'm serious. That's
It's
not what this
not
is
like I
for.
said. I think you're missing the point. Really, it's not about. It's not.
I
It's not.
think you're misconstruing the point, Leroy.
Right.
That's not
Right.
the
It's
point
not
No,
I'm
I think
about.
a
making.
lot of people, they think that they're cool. And I understand that. So when they see a Big Sean walking by, they'll be like, well, he's corny. But is
No,
he?
I didn't say that.
Is he?
No.
I didn't
Is he?
say he was
Because
corny.
if you have to be cool
I
to
didn't say that.
understand
You're
cool,
making an argument I didn't make.
you
I didn't
have to
say I
be
didn't. No,
cool.
you're making an argument that we didn't make on here. I didn't say he was corny. I didn't say he
I'm
was
not
lame.
saying you
I didn't say
personally.
that at all. I said
I'm
No.
that
I
not
mean,
saying
I
you
said he's been in the
personally.
game. He's been in the game for a very long time.
You
He's
have
been
to
in,
be cool. If you are cool and you see Ludacris, you're gonna say that's cool because you are cool yourself.
I'm not disparaging
You
if
know
they're
what I'm
cool or
saying?
not. I'm
So
saying
you
how
understand
they're looked
cool.
at in this game based upon how they
When
presented
you see
themselves
Busta
and how
Rhymes,
people are reacting to it. It's not our
I
fault.
know, but they have to be cool themselves to judge. If this is a person that is not cool and they're talking about Ludacris not being cool, but they themselves are not cool,
Like
there's a
for example,
disconnect.
I think my
There's a
wife,
disconnect.
shout out to my lovely wife, and she, we go on road trips and I play music and I put a playlist on and she'll tell me, man, turn that shit off. If I put on if we on a road trip and I put on a Ludacris mix, she like, man, turn this shit off. If I put on Big
All
Sean,
right.
she might turn this shit off. And we might put on some Wayne, we might put on some T.I. I mean,
Chances are,
I think she's pretty cool. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? I'm
yeah,
just telling you what the
chances are
fans. And she's not
the
thinking about
chances
who's
are they're not
corny. She's
making
not thinking
music.
about who's tough. She just somebody that likes hip hop, and she just like this shit don't sound
Well,
cool to me. I want to hear some real shit, and that's what and I'm not saying
I
that
don't
music's not
expect you to
real.
like every song though, and that's the problem. I don't expect you to like every
For
song.
example, and shout
I
out.
don't expect you to be the judge of whether somebody is. I think people think that they are the supreme judge
But
of everybody else.
hip hop fans, Leroy, come in all. Not all hip hop fans like, because you're a different hip hop fan. You're actually a hip hop artist. You actually write music, you produce music, so you look at hip hop in a different lens. There's a lot of hip hop
Y'all
fans
might want to hear what I'm saying.
and we do, and we appreciate your perspective. But there's a lot of hip hop fans that just consume music, that go to shows, that have playlists on Spotify. They listen to it in a different way, and they want to hear vibes from it. They want to hear some lyrics from it. They want to hear some beats from it. And I'm just saying certain artists don't appeal to certain segments of hip hop fans based upon those things.
That's
Some
fine.
fans
Go
are not
see Ludacris live.
and I have several times, Leroy. I have. I'm telling
And the
you.
crowd was like, boo.
No, they weren't. But I'm saying in 2026, if there's a show, if it's a Luda show and a 2 Chainz show, the energy is gonna go toward a 2 Chainz show in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm just telling you the truth.
What are those guys do? The same crew. What are they competing for?
You can
just
say
giving you an
I
example.
say the same thing about Big Sean. If you in Detroit right now, and Big Sean is throwing a concert, and even a guy like Rio the Young OG is throwing a concert, it's gonna be more people going to the Rio the Young OG concert than the Big Sean concert. So it is what it is, bro.
And when we go there, and when we go there, everybody's tough, right? I'm gonna walk in the building and everybody's like,
no.
So everybody's tough here.
It's not about being.
I'm just saying the energy I'm feeling is y'all
done
tough.
with this because we talk about the wrong, like we talk about 2 different things.
Bro,
let's
come on.
let's get to something
we just had a whole conversation about people not being able to discern between battles. So if you can't even discern battle rap because you want to be tough,
and we said that was
wrong. I don't
wrong.
expect you to understand Big Sean. Big Sean don't want to be tough.
We didn't see Leroy. This is so good. This is the great thing about our show. Leroy's gonna take. This didn't happen the last show.
Y'all want to be tough.
But
the fans want to be tough.
Every once in a blue moon, Leroy gonna find an argument, and we did not say that at all. So just a disclaimer:
I'm not talking about y'all Pacific.
Anything
I'm talking
about him being tough.
Dudes want to be tough.
We didn't say no street shit. We just said emotion. That's all we said.
Andre 3000 is one of the most respected rappers in the game. Nobody expecting Andre to be tough. Like it's not about that.
Come on, man.
Nothing
I'm
about
outside,
him being tough.
man. I'm outside. And also, you have to understand who they're talking to. If you play Big Sean in a club full of adults and nobody's moving, I understand. If you play Big Sean in a high school assembly and people are vibing, I understand where I'm at. I understand who Big Sean is talking to. So it's like, also we got to understand that too. So that's it, man. I'm not casting a line on everybody, but when I'm watching what people gravitate to and what they consider serious, it's a particular style, and everything outside of that style is like, oh, nah, that ain't real. All right. Okay.
We'll come back to that, but let's get to something we both all agree on, right? So the past week, I think it's in the past week. We've been getting in our chat and our thread.
Yeah,
we be going back and forth on a lot of different things. So that's a show in and of itself. I keep getting these text messages from Super, from Leroy saying IDK. First, I got the video with him and Pusha T, right? So I said, all right, this is cool, and I'm really not familiar with dude's music. And then I heard Super say, "Man, this album is great. This is dope. This might be one of them ones." And then I see Leroy say, "Man, this stuff is brilliant." So today before the show, so I can do the knowledge, I sat in my office and I said, let me listen to this IDK. Even the Devil Smiles, right? And man, I haven't heard an album where I didn't skip a song, where I felt energized by the artist, by the sequencing, by the beats in a very, very long time. I try to think back, and when I approach this review, I don't want to bring up any other artist name. I really want to focus on IDK. I don't want to think about what I thought about. I'm going to save that for maybe another day. I want to give a brother his respect. I haven't heard an album where I was felt really refreshed and I felt hopeful for hip hop in a very, very long time. I'm trying to think of the last time I heard, because normally we get we hear like the Pete Rock and the Common album, or we hear a Nas and Primo, or we get the Mobb Deep, the Infinite Joint, or we'll get something from Alchemist or Freddie Gibbs, artists that we are familiar with, that we've heard for years, right? Or when T.I. comes back outside, but for an artist that I'm not familiar with, that's been in the game for a very long time, I think he's been out since 2012, 2011, something like that. And I'm not familiar with his music at all. And I just push and play. And I don't know who this guy is from Adam, IDK, right? And I play the record and I go through the record and I get to Halo and I get to Devil and I get to PO and I get to the kind of a rock kind of mute song called like COP. Then I got Scary Mary and I got the Cell Block freestyle with No ID. And then I got Scrambled Eggs and I got the joint with RZA. Then there's a joint with DMX and a joint with MF Doom, and Conductor got a few joints on here, man. And then, No ID cooked up a little bit. And from start to finish, I didn't want to hit skip. I didn't hit skip. I put saved in Spotify. I looked up the brother on Wikipedia. I went to YouTube, looked up some interviews to see where his mind state was and who he. I kept hearing it in the record that he had. I know he had been incarcerated based upon the lyrics. He was talking about the Aryans and how he had to navigate prison and the politics of that. And I just walked away really hopeful. I walked away like, man, we got to give a light to this brother. It's an album. It's going to be definitely in my top 10 albums of the year. I don't care what comes out between now and the end of the year. This was like one of the best albums I've heard in a very, very long time. It made me like a damn hip hop fan again, man. And it was just something so special. Hope we get this brother on this platform to speak. I love to interview him, but man, I'm blown away. Super, you was right. Leroy, you were right. We all don't agree on much, and this is really a rare occasion, but I got to give a round of applause to IDK, man. Shout out to you, man. And I'll throw it to Leroy, then Super, you can bring us home on this, man. Leroy, what was your thoughts on this album? You know, I'm not a big fan of the title, and I'm not a big fan of some of the imagery. You know, I will say that, but bar for bar, beat for beat, I gotta give my props to the brother, man. So Leroy, what's your thoughts, man?
Well, to speak to that, right, and a person that used to watch the show when we were, where we came from, he was like, "Where's your album at?" yesterday. So I'm putting it together right now, right, and I appreciate that brother for asking me that, right. But it's also like, what animal do I feed, right? Let's say I just feed the streets just violence in the music, right? Because I know that's what y'all like, right? It could be the point to where I'm trying to deter you away from it by feeding it to you. You see what I'm saying? So sometimes that is a strategy. I just want to point that out there, right? But I'm not going to do that. But I'm just saying sometimes that is a strategy, right? Okay, so IDK. Like I said, I wasn't a big knowledgeable on IDK, ignorantly delivering knowledge. You know what I mean? Ignorantly delivering knowledge. That I just realized I said what I said with his name, right? So the album is phenomenal. It's great. And I think that having a good, foothold on a bunch of different styles helps an artist, right? I could do this, I could do that, I could sing, I could harmonize, I could bar up, I could put melodics in my flow. All of that helps. The brothers from Maryland, he got roots in London, he got roots in Ghana, right? I do think that in America we look at East, West, South, Midwest, but I do think we should stamp that passport too, though. I think when you go to a different place and you hear different melodies, you can bring that back to your studio. Now you got more tools, you know what I mean, to put in your music. And I think that's what he did. Who Kid on the intro, phone call from prison. So let's follow this phone call, right? So it starts off there. Halo, right? The cadence of the hook, right? And I can't remember it word for word in the moment, but it's just fire. It has a career. If you've been in the Caribbean, you know that they got a certain melody, right? So we could add that into hip hop too. We don't have to make it fully Caribbean, but we're just adding certain spices, certain seasoning, right? That's all. We just seasoning the food. Little Devil, the song after that with the kids on the hook, that used to be a thing back in the day, but that was fire, right? K Tronada made that beat. I wrote something else down, but I can't read my own writing right now. But okay, the next song, P.O. So he speaks about hustling. So the album does break off into a story. The more you get into it, and again, it's certain melodies. Story. When you're rapping, you have right. When you're rapping, you have a cadence, right? Like, and Atlanta is great for this. Atlanta is great for having a cadence out there and with the flow, right? So and you're just seasoning the rhymes. That's it. Clover, it sounds like a like a oldie type of song, like, and then it goes into like a more modern sound, right? And these changes of the music. And what I mean by oldie is the same thing I meant with like Tricks on Games Project, where they have an old school delivery. Like they start the song. Y'all remember how rappers from the 80s used to rap with a certain delivery? They started like that and then go into a more modern thing. So changing the flow is a good thing. Stigma, it's electronic music after that. Cop. So if you really listen to it, right? Halo, Devil, you have a high resonance frequency and then a fall. Halo, Devil, P.O. That goes into his own thing. Clover, Good Luck, Stigma. And that's electronic music, right? Then you get into COP, it's more of a punk rock influence. Now, what I'm saying is, and No ID did production here, Madlib did production here, Conductor, RZA, and K Tronada, and there's a couple guys that I'm missing because I'm not really familiar with who they are like that. This is a brother that is well rounded in his sound, right? So now we get to start to finish with DMX on the hook. DMX on the hook. And you brought me back to when I was a teenager, man. I said teenager Leroy in here because I'm hearing DMX, you know what I'm saying? So that was fire, you know what I mean? And that song is fire. And it speaks about if we want to get to the roots of if you're gonna give me gangster stuff, right? And I'm not saying this is like a gangster album, but I'm just saying for those that engage in that material, right? If you're gonna give me that, well then give me a perspective I can understand. You feel what I'm saying? So his perspective here is about a robbery, right? A robbery in which he gets caught, goes to prison. I understand that story, right? Not because I engaged in such, but because I understand the story. You know what I'm saying? So Scary Mary with it has like a jingle bells cadence, but he's and bro, I know I'm to people out there, I'm explaining the flows and the cadences, but the brother is rapping though. He does have bars. Like so that's a good thing. Everyday holiday. You know, I I wrote notes about this, but you know, he speaks about a robbery. So the reason why the jingle bells cadence is kind of going is because it sounds like someone sneaking into someone's property, right? If you're doing a robbery, then you're sneaking in, you're tiptoeing in. You feel what I'm saying? So the music is playing into the theme, and that you gotta be a great artist to know how to do that, man. You know what I mean? So I appreciate that. I think he went to prison for robbery. You know what I mean? I could be. He
Yeah,
said what
yeah,
it was.
he went to jail for a couple of years, I think. He had a 15-year sentence, and I think he got 12 of it suspended, and we went back and forth for a year or two,
Okay,
state and county.
Okay, so yeah, so this album kind of plays into what happened, and I understand that I'm no angel, right? But someone who is desperate for money, I understand the psychology there, right? Then you have a cell block freestyle, which kind of reminded me of an old Luda skit thing, but it's no beat, it's just like an acapella with them freestyling in the cell block. That's genius too, man. I gotta say, like, if you're telling a story where you do the robbery, then you get caught, then you go to jail, then you do the cell block freestyle, I'm following the story. You know what I mean? So that was genius. Flocka with MF Doom. That was dope. And the music is playing like it's a movie. I'm seeing it in my imagination based off what I'm hearing. Misogynistical. So that is, I thought that was dope too, right? So he's either writing a letter or reading a letter from, you know, a girl that may be out there, but when he's free later and realizes, the girl has now been married, you know what I mean? That's just like a real life thing. And I'm glad that he painted that picture, you know, in that sense, you know what I mean? So when he gets to the hook at the end, he doesn't even want to say the hook at the end because his feelings is hurt. You know what I mean? So and that is real to me. You know what I mean? For anybody who's done time for and I have not. I'm just for anybody who has. I understand that feeling. You come out, your girl done moved on. It's like you know what I mean? Trash. So I appreciate that. Life for a Life with Pusha, that was fire. That song is not about. I guess people thought it was about somebody out there that he had problems with. But no, that's about his old manager, right? You know what I mean? So, but that song was fire. The next song everyone knows with the guitar loop. Again, we're playing into a different style of music. RZA, that was fire. Scrambled Eggs with Conductor, fire. Now again, every time I hear Conductor, I like him a little bit more. You know what I mean? I got to keep it funky. So the album plays into a story. It has a lot of melodic value. The brother can spit. He can rap very well. He and you're just gonna be nodding your head for the whole album. And that's what I didn't skip nothing. You know, I did that. You
Right.
have to be a great artist to know how to pull this off. I'm sorry. So IDK, I salute you. I think you're a great artist. I appreciate your contribution. Keep doing your thug thizzle. And it's like that's what we need, somebody who could create great albums, great projects. So it was that. And I was highly impressed by the project. So, you know what I mean? Even the devil smiles. My only question is where the God's at. You know what I mean? But I appreciate the album. It was fire. I have nothing bad to say about this album. You know what I mean? So,
I
yeah,
totally
man.
agree with you,
That's what it
Leroy. I
is.
think it's a perfectly placed album. It's like 15 tracks. It's only like 36 minutes. It don't give you room to skip a song. Every song on here is dope. He got a. It's like I love the realness of every song too. Like this. I'm gonna say this, but I don't want to go too far off base with this. The This reminds me of kind of like when I first heard Kanye West back in the day. He actually sounds like Kanye too. He kind of got like a Kanye kind of sound, and he reminds you.
I can see
He
that.
gives you like the old Kanye vibes with like the way he rap and like
Like
even
the
like
wittiness.
the wittiness, how he slides some realness in
Yeah.
to the rhymes and to the songs, and like it's a this is one of those albums, like he's not really talking super tough or nothing like that, like we were just saying, but he get his point across and you take him seriously because of the realness of what he's saying. You know what I mean? And I think that the album it's album of the year so far. I know it's super early and it's just, you know, we only 1 month in, but it's definitely album of the year so far. Like I don't think it's an album out there that's been put together, sequenced. It's a salute to really like old school hip hop and the tradition of hip hop too. It got the perfect features on here. The features are perfectly placed. Everything works well and go together perfectly on the album. Like it's a well done, sequenced, um, songs with messaging and seriousness and real life relatability to them. Every song. So salute to IDK, man. It's dope album. And this is one of those ones, like, I don't think I overreacted when I said I think this is album of the year so far. It's the dopest front to back album. Like I said, it's perfect. It's only 36 minutes, but it's 15 tracks and
Okay.
it flows so well together, like from top to bottom. So it's dope. And we're gonna have to mark,
And
we're gonna have
he
to
is witty.
right,
Yeah.
super witty, smart. It's almost like he real smart. It's
Yeah.
intelligent. You can hear the rhymes and
Yeah.
the execution for real. Yeah. Go ahead,
Yeah,
keep
I
up.
did write down one of his lines and I'm looking for it, but it's like I can't find it at the moment. But it's like he is witty though. And I see the correlation or comparison to a young Kanye in that wit in which you say something that is a little bit lightweight funny, but then it's kind of not funny. You know what I'm saying? It's like
It's seriously funny. It's real, but it's
yeah,
comedic at the same time. It's like
right.
it's not corny,
Mhm.
but it's like real. It's real.
It's
It's
funny,
like
not
it's
funny.
realistic. It's like that shit I never really thought about. Are you he be saying things that you be thinking about but never really said and put it in a different way. And that's what
Yeah.
Kanye was good at. And I think this brother's good at it too. He'll take something that is a real life situation, apply it to with some funny and some wit, and it's just real. And it was
Yeah.
interesting after I heard the album, I went to YouTube to try to get some more knowledge and understand where he was coming from. And I always like it when I listen to an artist and they say something that I be thinking about. He said one of his favorite songs when he came home, and I thought nobody in the world liked the song with me. He said his favorite Chief Keef song was "Understand Me." It was a joint on Chief Keef's first record. Is a record with Jeezy, and he said, "Man, that was my favorite song. That's one of my favorite songs by Chief Keef." And I used to ride around listening to that, and I'm like, "What is this?" Right? Even when I
Right.
first started dating my wife, I would play that joint, and she was like, "Yo, what is this?" But I thought nobody in the world, and so it was refreshing to hear an artist that just dropped a
Yeah.
dope album. I mean, he said out of the blue, like, man, that Chief Keef, Understand Me with Jeezy, one of my favorite
Yeah.
joints. So I thought that was
It's
refreshing. But go ahead, Leroy.
It's the opening lines of the second verse on Devil. Now I'm looking in my notes trying to find it. I don't find it at the moment. But whatever that brother said there, it was witty, man. It was witty. And I appreciate that, man. This guy knows what he's doing, man. He's a wordsmith too, and I appreciate that. So yeah, I agree with with both guys. And man, I've been playing this stuff, crazy so far this weekend. You know what I mean? So
No doubt, no
yeah,
doubt. We're gonna get him on. I'm gonna reach out to his management. I'm gonna reach out to him
man.
directly and see if he can get on the
Yeah.
show maybe next week to talk about the album, what he was thinking about. So y'all stay tuned for that. We're gonna have our first interview on this new iteration of the pod. Hopefully, it will be IDK. We can talk about even the devil smiles. We're about to get out of here. Before we do, make sure you hit like and subscribe. Make sure you leave a comment. Please share the podcast. That's a cup of coffee. Send us a super thanks, a super chat. But the best thing you can do for us is hit like and hit subscribe. We got to get the subscriptions up so we can go live, bring the live element back to the show. Before I get out of here, there's a couple things that's bothering me. We're going to create a new segment. This is what's bothering me this weekend. WrestleMania, not WrestleMania, but ESPN, I got to get it together, man. I got YouTube TV, and I wanted to watch this Royal Rumble, and I don't like these damn things y'all be sending me about. You can see it on here. I want to watch it for real. We spent a lot on this YouTube TV package, and I couldn't get into the ESPN app. I couldn't see no Royal Rumble. It was in Saudi Arabia. I'm thinking about taking my family to go see WrestleMania in Vegas. I'm trying to get them excited about it. You see the belt in the background with Super. And I couldn't figure it out. So y'all got to work this out, man. Whatever's deal y'all got to get done. I shouldn't have to pay another $80 to see WrestleMania. I got the package.
You know they're gonna get you.
I got all this, man. So y'all got to get this. Y'all got to get this straight, man. I'm tired of logging in and remember what email address. And I just wanted to watch the Royal Rumble with my kids, man. Y'all got to get that right. On a positive note, I'm gonna go check out. I saw Mike Epps special on Netflix. If you haven't seen Mike Epps special on Netflix, it was really, really dope. We were on a comedy binge last night. It was really cold in Atlanta, so we watched that. We watched my man Earthquake's last comedy show. I might be a little late. That was dope on Netflix. We watched the Kevin Hart joint that he did in Miami. Yeah, I was all right. I'm kind of not really, feeling Kevin Hart like when he first came in the game, but it's getting kind of corny. I'm not really. It's getting kind of corporate like comedy, but shout out to Mike Epps. Mike Epps stand up was dope. But tonight, if you want to watch something, find you a Tubi movie. But I want to watch this movie called The Wrecking Crew with Jason Momoa and Batista. They're supposed to be like an action movie, one of them old school 80s, 90s joints. They're supposed to be in Hawaii. I'm going to check that out, and I'm going to check out The Rip. I know it's been out for 2 weeks, but I'm going to check out The Rip with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. I think Tiana Taylor's in that joint on Netflix. Those are my recommendations. The Wrecking Crew with Jason Momoa and Batista on Amazon Prime. The Rip with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. Check out Mike Epps' comedy special.
Yeah.
Shout out to Earthquake. So that's me. And check out IDK. Listen to the music. Leroy, how you want to close this out? And Super, how you want to close this out? Man, what's your final thoughts, bro?
To me, I'm just like listen to this music we was just talking about. That's one thing about me. The most important thing is I just want y'all to go listen to what we was talking about, so we not playing with you. You know what I'm saying? So the IDK that was fire. Listen to that. The Mickey Facts, the way he delivers this battle this week, I think everybody should pay attention. Just how you battle somebody. You know what I mean? So that's it. And just more music. The IDK is a thing, but also just about equity in this culture, right? I think a lot of times a person builds equity in this culture, and then people turn around and shit on them. And I'm lost. I don't understand how that makes sense. So I'll bring it around to myself, right? I'm not no big wig dude, but it's like I've been here for a little bit of a minute, right? So it's like the people who are out there that see me on According to Hip Hop, that see me on other platforms, it's like, bro, listen to what I'm saying in the music that I'm talking about. I built a little bit of equity here. You don't gotta respect it, but it's like everybody you listen to, whether it be me or Company Man or where you go, they have built some equity with you, right? So it's like these are voices that you should be able to trust musically with their opinion, right? And you don't have to agree with everything I'm saying. That would be ludicrous. You know what I mean? That would be ludicrous. But it's like some of us have built a little bit of equity, man. You know what I mean? Not just on the internet, but also outside. A lot of y'all have met me outside. So it's like, come on, like, that this is for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, and I'm not beating my chest. I don't want to make it seem like that. I'm just saying pick those that you have built some equity with their opinion in your mind and follow those people and watch those people. And if I have done that for some of y'all, well then, yeah, hit that subscribe. Yeah, hit that like. Yeah, listen to the music I'm saying is dope because I've built that trust and equity with you, right? That's all I'm saying. And I do the same. there's people out there, I know y'all. I watch your show. You've built equity with me. I rock with you. So I'm just asking for the same in return. That's all. You know what I mean? Respectfully. Respectfully. You know? But
Sure.
IDK. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, you know, for me myself, man, I got to do a little bit of promotion, man. Hey, I'm follow the Weekend Rhyme on Spotify. I'm putting out a playlist for each month so we can keep documented history of what's been dope, some of the new music that's been coming out. We got nice dope playlists of a lot of random music on there, and you know, follow us on Spotify. Definitely, you know, subscribe to us on there, follow our playlist, go listen to the music, check us out, and see something, you know, get in tune, tap in, because like I said, I'm gonna try to document a lot of the newer music stuff that has come out throughout the months, because we get caught up talking about a lot of nostalgia, you know what I mean? We do have to continue to move the culture forward and find new music that's dope and find what's out here. So I'm gonna make it a little bit easier for y'all, and I'm gonna put out a playlist every month. So I got the January playlist already out, and follow us on Spotify, man. Subscribe, and get tapped in. Get tapped in.
No doubt. With that being said, we'll put the link up so you can go to Spotify and check out that playlist that Super's cooking up each and every month with the dopest, freshest rhymes, beats, music that we got in hip hop each month. So big shout out to Super for putting that together. But what you can do right now for us, hit like and subscribe, leave a comment, hit share, tell a friend, tell a friend. Let's get our some subs up. Let's get our thumbs up. Let's get the love up. This is the Weekend Rhyme. I'm your boy Ron. That's Leroy Green. That's Super Duper. We'll see you on the flip side. Peace.
Salute.
Yes, sir. Have a good